Hi, welcome back to Straight Talk with Dr. V and Miss E. How are you today, Miss E?
Great, Dr. How are you?
I am sweating.
We gotta get a swell today. Okay. That's
Y'all like that? I said
we got a
swell.
special guest in the building. Before I introduce him, he don't usually give us no swell, but we got a very special guest in the building of a very good friend that I consider my friend. I hope you can. We got Mr. Terrence Ali in the building. Shout out, Mr. Terrence Ali. What's up? Glad to have you here. We brought him for a very special reason. So he's gonna bring us his energy, his life, and his knowledge. I'm really glad to have you here. Taking the time out to be here with us, and we hope you guys appreciate what he has to say, what knowledge he brings to the conversation. So shout out. So first and foremost, you say you swell, but
this it's always teaching, Bible study, different things of that nature. And so of course today kicks off a whole new week of just busy. How have your week been?
It's been good. Pretty low key, end of February will be over before we know it. So just rolling with the punches, trying to get through another month. I'm looking forward to getting January with Valentine's holiday celebrated. So, we got what? March.
No,
St. Patrick's Day. I'm going down to shout out for coming in for them. I'm going out to St. Patrick's Day. So if you see me, holler in the street. So holler in the street.
We go somewhere.
Yeah, go upstairs and cook some dinner.
We might have to listen to the podcast. We're gonna have to get us a St. Patty's party going on here.
Okay. Do your thing, boo.
Yeah, that's right.
Mr. Terrence Ali, how you been doing? What's your week been like so far?
Man, it's been good. It's been a busy week, just working and auditions and dancing, and man, just staying busy, man. That's the main thing. Is staying busy. So it's been a good week, productive week, and I'm ready to see what next week.
Okay, do you partake in the Valentine's Day tradition, or you just kind of?
Nah, man. I swear, it's one of those things where, I try to be romantic on a regular basis, so that I don't have to be contained by one day of having to be romantic.
Right.
So I don't want anybody to tell me when to be romantic with my wife. So I try to do something other than February 14th.
Right.
So it's been good though, man. Being busy at the bar, people come in, and want to, have dinner and stuff. So that's good.
Well, shout out to Mrs. Ali. I'm pretty sure she enjoyed her time out. So, Valentine's Day is a commercialized day, so it used to be fun as a little kid, taking your little cars to school, but now we know that it's been kind of a flex day, basically. It's a flex day. God forbid somebody that's your wife or your girl's offers get a bigger flower than her, and she gets something and she expecting something, you're in trouble.
Exactly.
Why y'all like that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So women are not like that?
Like what?
I like public shows of affection.
I do.
My flowers got to be bigger than her flowers.
They like the flex.
They like the flex, right. I'm just saying, when I was a young
because
boy.
We want everyone to know that we have the best man in the universe.
I don't know with us.
And nobody can do what my man.
That's what about y'all.
All the ladies could be green within you, honey. So just let them know, hey, my man better than your man.
Okay. I ain't mad at that.
That's on ego to me.
It is ego, bro.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I'm not mad at you.
And I got a good man.
Okay. I ain't mad at you. I'm not mad at you.
That's right.
It's like, when people be posting everything on Facebook, all of their business about their men, then they break up and they get ghosted. Where they good man at?
Like, nah,
I'm just saying, it's the same energy, ain't it? It's like,
don't get quiet now.
right, don't get quiet.
Because I'm investing in this relationship because you
Right.
go all over Facebook.
Right,
I want to know how it ended.
Right, I
Why
want
y'all
to
broke up? Why y'all broke up?
Right,
I
right.
want to know all these.
I want to know your business now. So you flexing, you had them flowers. What them flowers at? I'm just saying, it's a double-edged sword. When you keep folks in your business, you worried about what everybody else saying.
Right.
At the same time, when we stop saying that stuff, we be wondering, like, that show was going hard
That's weird.
a little while ago now. It goes.
And you know, bye-bye.
Okay.
That's why you don't put your business on
Exactly.
Facebook.
Exactly.
Keep
Exactly.
your business to yourself.
Exactly. Exactly. That's it.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. B, I should have sat down with me a fan.
You little hot this. Hey, it's some. I think it's because I guess here he be on the hot seat, so you put him under pressure. You
Y'all
put him
got
in
me
the
in the hot
pressure
seat. Oh my
you
God.
put in the pressure
Already, Lord have
of
mercy.
what's to come.
Margarita.
Yeah, it's putting the pressure of what's to come. So this it's all good. It's all good. All right, so let's get into what's been going on locally. Nothing really political, right? Other
I
than
think Jimmy Carter is still at home
he's still in
resting
hospital.
peacefully with his family beside him. So we're going to keep the Carter family in our prayers. That's the only thing that, and then I forgot, he was the president of the 100 Black Men. I don't know if he was the first, he was laid to rest yesterday. I forgot his name,
Okay.
but we want to keep that family in our prayers.
Yeah, shout out. I went to a couple events with 100 Black Men, and I asked them about it. I'm like, so how do you join? It's like, you kind of got to be invited. Or I was like, okay, y'all like that. I get it, but I'm like, can I get a 100 Black Men Junior or something? I'm like,
That sounds really elitist.
it is. It does come off like that, but I get it. I understand. They got a standard that they hold themselves to. But I was just trying to figure out. I'm like, because I'm actually went to an event and I met what's the Black producer from there? Will Packer.
Okay.
So Will Packer was there. He's on the panel. So after the discussion, I was going up. So I'm talking to him. I'm like, so Will, give me some information about the 100 Black Men. What is that? How you get in there? And it was like, I don't know what you got to, like you said, you got to be a certain status. And I'm not at that status, so I'm not saying I should be there, but I'm like, there's got to be a gateway.
It is a gateway. It is.
So I got to pay. That's what basically you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much. Have a million in the bank account.
Right, yeah.
So when you went to the website, what did the website say?
I didn't go to the website because after that, I got the sense of that I wasn't quite 100 Black Men status yet. So I was like, oh, okay. He deferred me he sent me basically to this, the Urban League. And then I talked to a guy at the Black Urban League, and then he's like, yeah, give me your email address, and I'll email you and this and that and that. And I was like, okay. And I never heard anything back. So I'm just like, I was like, okay.
What do you need to try the NAACP?
Well, look, at that point, I'm just like, okay, I get it. You ain't got to tell me.
You ain't got to tell me.
Right, you ain't got to tell
Right.
me. I get it. Until the Duckies is coming out, until I'm like a major donor or something like that, y'all ain't checking for me. I get it. Thanks for letting me know. So I went there and I was like, okay, cool. I understand, and I'm pretty sure that's just the nature of the way it is.
Right.
Who you know.
Who you know.
Yes, you know now.
Right, it's who you know and how you get access to it. So I ain't mad at it. So but when I do, step my game up, don't be coming in with your invite because I'm be like, nope.
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah,
They do
no.
such great
Okay, great. But I'm from the hood, so I'm like, you ain't got the one kind.
They can do great work all day long, but there's more than 100 Black men in the world.
There is. And then, I get it. I understand what they're saying. I've been trying to, it should not be hard to get tapped into organizations like that. Where you want to volunteer your service and thing. And I understand that they have their format they do, whatever they do.
You have a vetting system, and I need a vetting system, but when you isolate people from a community that still belong to that community, it makes them resentful of that same
Yeah.
community, of that same organization or community that they're being shunned or isolated from.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be about money because a lot of us don't have money.
Right,
That's the
yeah.
whole point. We don't have. That's the whole thing. We don't got money. We don't got resources.
Yeah.
So
Right.
how are you including us in the conversations?
Mm-hmm.
Because 100 black men shouldn't be choices for a million black men.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Right,
what I'm saying.
right,
The
right.
math don't matter.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I felt like a little bit like Mike Jones. So
Did you?
yeah, because I was like, I got the message. He wasn't rude or nothing like that. It wasn't like they were rude. It was like this. It was like I'm just basically, no, you don't come to us. We come find you. So I was like,
Oh, so that's how it works.
yeah, that's how it works. You have to be invited.
to be chosen.
Yeah, you got to be chosen. You got to be invited.
Well, the chairman of the 100 Black Men, his name was Thomas W. Deutsch.
Okay.
I
remember that.
He died at the age of 72.
I'm trying to remember. Did I know? Was it his daughter or somebody? I used to be somebody his daughter. I can't remember who it was, but condolences to him and his family. So.
And the next person we want to say condolences about for Atlanta, he was the first Black TV reporter. He died at the age of 83. He worked at WSB-TV, which is Channel 2. And I think his name was Lojo. What was his first name? I'm trying to read it out my glasses.
Lorenzo. Why the hell you him a nickname?
You know what?
I was just saying, why his name was Lorenzo? Why they got called Lo? Don't get no. Come on now.
Lozo. It ain't gonna be
That's what the people call him. But I'm just saying, you ain't heard them call Monica Kaufman, Moni.
No, you've been there.
Monica Pearson.
Monica Pearson, yeah.
Shout out to her for taking her husband's last name. Most of y'all modern day women,
But she didn't
they
take her
say-
first husband name.
I ain't talking about her first husband. I'm talking about her last husband.
Okay.
She took that brother's name. That brother's like, no. You gonna be Monica Pearson.
That's the only thing that's going on in and that 285 closing down 2 more lanes and all of that craziness. So that's about it.
Anybody from Atlanta know the traffic is.
Oh my God.
Right. So yeah. So okay. Tell me about this Alabama player you're talking about.
Brandon, what's his name? My name?
Brandon Miller.
Brandon Miller. A couple of his teammates, I guess one teammate texted him to bring them a gun, which was not Brandon's gun. It was to make a gentleman who was requesting the gun.
Okay.
So he in turn take the gun that was requested and asked of him. So he just did it as a friend. And so not knowing this is somebody's gun, someone's called me and say, hey, can you look up under there and bring me my gun or bring me my case? I don't know what you're getting ready to do. It's your belongings. So I'm just gonna pick it up, drive safely wherever I have to go, be very careful, and give you your gun. However, the gun was then in turn used to kill a female. So they're wanting to have Brandon not out for Alabama in basketball because they feel that he should be charged also with the murder of the young lady.
Okay.
Tell me, what are your thoughts?
I think it's crazy because he didn't commit the murder. He didn't commit the crime. 1, 2. He's like an accomplice. He doesn't even know what was going on.
Exactly.
If you're gonna hold the idea that guns don't kill people do,
Right.
then you can't put the gun. You can't put the person that shoots the gun in. You can't hold that person accountable when the person that actually fired the gun was the person held accountable. Smith and Wesson sells guns every day.
Exactly. So she would go get them and put them on fire with Brandon, right?
How many mass murders are committed just this year alone?
Yeah.
How many
shootings?
how many gun distributors are being held responsible?
None.
None of them. So if we're gonna hold that
And then when you go to the gun show, so when he sold the gun to the
right,
person,
absolutely.
you know, so you gotta go get the gun show representative.
It's the person that's holding it. It's the person that's putting it
Exactly.
every time.
So he didn't know it wasn't his gun.
Right. Yeah, it looks like this was his friend Miles, whoever this person who did the shooting gun, and he basically hold it from him and say, "Hey, bring me my whip." You bring it to him, and then this accident occurred.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but at the same time, I can understand that he had no inclination that this was about to go down. So it's basically like you're holding something for me. For whatever reason, you give it to me because it's a gun. Did it change the situation? Maybe. If you had known, like if I know you hot-headed and you my boy, and you like, you know, bring me my piece, I'm finna pop this such and such.
Right.
No, hold on.
Yeah,
I
ain't part of that. But if you just like, hey, bring me my, you know, bring me for me, and then I'm just bringing it. Then I can.
And it was in the form of a text message. So if you didn't see it in the text message that he told him what he wanted the gun for,
right,
then you got to let that go.
Yeah.
It's not your business, right? I mean, it's not how we operate.
You asked me to bring
my business.
Maybe you felt you needed for protection. Maybe you forgot it and just needed it. You never know.
I mean, these are still black men that's living in Alabama.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not that crazy things happen in Alabama all the time, but these are still black men in Alabama.
Exactly.
And if we are
young black men.
Young black men. Yeah, you might be on a basketball team, but you're still a black boy in Alabama. So you know you may have to protect yourself at some
That's
time.
right.
Because you know at your front door.
Yeah.
And honestly, if he wasn't a high profile athlete,
yeah,
it probably
wouldn't have been.
You know, but since there's a high profile case, you want to kind of make an example of that person, not for that actual person, but for the other people that may want to think about, hey, you need to keep your ass around.
Exactly. Basically, that's what it was. So unfortunately, it's an unfortunate event. All parties involved. I don't know. I have, like I said, gun violence is just out of control. So for those Second Amendment people, I get it. Nobody wants the right to bear arms. I'm not saying you should not do that.
Right.
But there should be some level of responsibility that come with being a gun owner. And you know, if you got a problem with that, then I mean, what are you using it for? But
exactly. The
NRA is powerful. They've been doing what they've been doing for years. So it don't look like they about to shut that down. So they're not. So we about to, you know, we.
And you don't defend black gun owners either.
No.
just the Caucasian one.
Right. So shout out to the NRA. Do better. Do better. Talks next we got here like Wendy Williams. Now I haven't seen this. We talked about her husband wanting the
more spousal support, and
as he should
get denied. He should not get. But it was denied. I'm happy that it was denied. But she's just not looking so well. You know, she's very thin. So she just did this little rant. Wendy Williams reveals she wants to be on The View in a bizarre new video as troubled host shops. So I just want to know what's her mental capacity right now. Who's over her money? Because I remember not too long ago that she wasn't able to keep payroll because Wells Fargo had her money on the wall.
They might be entering into some guardianship, so they might be putting her in like a
guardianship. So who would be her guardianship?
The court, usually, typically the way it goes, the court appoints someone, a neutral party, sort of like they had with Britney Spears before her dad took over. But he petitioned for it, so hopefully.
Her dad took some money too.
Yeah, he did. But
when you famous like that, you have all this type of money. They need to have some checks and balances there. If your family members owe your money, they cannot just spend your money.
Well, that's what it's supposed to be. The guardianship is supposed to be like you report to the court where her expenses are and whatever, and then the court.
But we all know Britney Spears' daddy was paying his salary out of there, going on trips, buying cars out of her money. So Wendy Williams, whoever is going to be her guardianship, There need to be some checks and balances. They cannot just go in there and buy themselves and pay themselves.
I agree, but who is there?
Would be her son.
Her son is too young.
He's not too young. That boy's not a crime.
Yeah, but that don't mean he knows what to do.
He gonna spend money just like anybody else would.
And what influence does his father have on her? How close is she? Did she isolate herself from her family as she got to a certain point?
I don't think she's isolated herself from her.
Then she should have people advocate for her. Did she turn her back on everybody because of what was going on with her husband? That that whole relationship thing.
But I just think that's so sad.
It is sad.
I think all of this came when she got divorced. All of this mental breakdown and sickness.
So what you trying to say, Dr. D?
It sounds like karma to me.
It
Sounds like karma to me.
Yeah.
She made a whole career on talking about people, even since the 90s when she was a radio host.
Yeah.
She made a career about talking about
So
people.
you think it's karma?
Karma always comes back. Whether it's a minute away or 20 years away, karma always comes back. And she's finally getting what she deserves.
So that means all talk show hosts is going to get ready to get what they deserve. Because that guy.
A lot of them. A lot of them will.
Yeah, but who would you put? So you saying Oprah?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
But he said she got.
Oh, she's been making a mockery of black men for the last 25 years.
Don't be coming for us, Oprah.
Well, Harvey Weinstein still hasn't gotten an interview yet from Gayle King, but R. Kelly's got an interview. Hey, Oprah, you can come for me. I don't care. I don't get no money. You can sue me all you want to. I ain't got no money to give you.
Look, his comments did not represent the thoughts of Mr. P from Straight Talk. It is his own. So hook me up over. I might be on the own network.
I own that.
He on that. I'm just saying, we cool.
Yeah.
Me and you still cool.
We got to do something. It's just that I like Wendy Williams as a person. I just feel that that someone they need to make sure that someone is over her money, that be able to take care of her when she does come into her right mind, that she will have her money.
Well, it's something to what he said though. You don't think the way you make your money, the way
all that, but she wouldn't be where she's at today had not been for people watching this. So
she might be a part of her. I'm just saying, you think about it. The way you make it is the way you lose it a lot.
Yep, absolutely.
The messiness of that she highlighted, Method Man was ready to swing on.
There's been quite a few.
Yeah,
been ready to
so it's like the way you make it, sometimes the way you lose it.
Okay.
So that's something to say.
I hope nobody is ever sick, because being sick and terminally sick is a terrible thing to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
However, when it happens, my hands are clean of it because I know that you did something at some point in your life to deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happens out of happenstance.
Mm-hmm.
Things happen for a reason. And she's getting, the chickens have come to roost.
You say you
all day, every day.
What Malcolm said.
Have come home to roost.
Chicken have come on the roof. So anyway, we hope you feel better, Wendy.
Hold on, yeah.
We hope you feel better,
Wendy.
Feel better, Wendy. We hope you feel
But consequences are real.
We hope you feel better, Wendy. Do what you do. Okay, so here's a good one. So we're gonna talk this. Lil Wayne or Jay-Z? So Lil Wayne says, let me pull this up. Did you tell me that?
The quote.
Yeah, the quote. So we want to make sure we say this right. Lil Wayne says that, okay. They have a video. Lil Wayne, no offense to Jay, but I'm better in all-time rapper debates. So we're gonna start with
No, don't start with me.
Oh, you gonna start with Mr.
Start with the young bug.
Okay.
So look, the thing with Jay-Z and Lil Wayne, Jay-Z's a businessman, right? I think a lot of us give credit to his career overall as a businessman that he is. I have no problem with that. But when you talk about pure rap, the music, what made you popular, Lil Wayne's first hit to everything he's done up to this point has been more prolific than what Jay-Z has put out. Not that Jay-Z's not a great businessman, not that he doesn't have prolific songs. When you look at the whole catalog, the amount of content that they have, Lil Wayne is far beyond Jay-Z. Now you look at Jay-Z's catalog, you know, he has some good songs, right? But you talk about an era where either rapper dominated. Lil Wayne had an era of domination. I mean, what was it, 2003, 2004 to like 2009, 4, 5, 6 years of pure dominance. I mean, I remember being on campus at Virginia State University, and I'm riding my car and I'm bumping Lil Wayne hard. And every car that drove by was bumping Lil Wayne hard. His mixtape, not just his albums, his mixtape. Jay-Z didn't even have that. He had a good hit every year or two, but just the dominance of an era, Lil Wayne had it on lock. Again, Jay-Z has his career, right? He had married Beyonce, right? Lil Wayne ain't have a significant other that was like prolific as Beyonce, obviously not. But we take all those things that Jay-Z did and say, okay, he's the best rapper. No, he's the best rapper businessman. He's not the best rapper. But when it comes to just pure rap, I mean, you can talk about the guys, the Lil Wayne metaphors. You know, I said again, the consistency that he had. He's done all kinds of different things within rap, from Hot Boys to the Carter to the Carter 3 to a lot of his bigger stuff that he's done even now. And you say, okay, Lil Wayne has had a career as a rapper, not as a career businessman. He's not a businessman.
Right.
You know that.
Business-wise, the nod goes to Jay-Z.
Yeah,
artistry, you give it to Lil Wayne.
I give it to Lil Wayne. He's the better rapper, not a better businessman, if you want to look at it in that route.
What's your thoughts?
I'm indifferent. I'm indifferent because I do have an opinion. Jay-Z definitely, I think, business-wise, from a business perspective, I think he was did anybody become billionaire status before him? Any rappers?
I think maybe the first. I think
billionaire?
I think Jay was right behind him. But
Right behind him, but Jay did the first business. Lil Wayne, he reminds me, he's artistry. He's like, I respect him more because I see the evolution. The evolution of the way he started with the Hot Boys and evolved in terms of artists, walking your own path, doing your own thing. There's some things that they did that are similar to other artists that, you know, he did better than a lot of artists, but he basically followed some of the footsteps. He just handled his business better than some of the other artists. So that's why some are indifferent. Well, I wouldn't necessarily pick one over the other, just for those reasons.
I mean, they're honestly both great in their own right. You know, and that's why it's hard to say what's better than the other.
Yeah.
But you know, I feel on that. Like, they both did things for the rap community, the hip hop community, that no other rapper could do.
They did, because like I said, I don't think Lil Wayne handled his business as well as Jay-Z.
Oh, absolutely
You
not.
see what I'm saying? So him, they be still getting off of him. So I think that should him. But you, what do you think? She talking about some Biggie. Biggie been gone. How many years now?
Jay-Z is still Biggie's player.
Yeah, Jay-Z followed under that 2-5. They've been going for 20 something years.
What, 96?
97.
And nobody can still touch.
Who can touch Biggie?
To me, that's just what
Nobody can
what
touch them.
what could have been.
They cannot touch neither one of them.
Sometimes I think I guess I was saying more than the individual, I guess what if has grown bigger. You know, like the idea or the ideology is bigger than the actual person was. Pop was on a different vibe then. Pop had a different mission from what he did. Biggie was trying to get out the gutter. Biggie was about making good music.
That's
Biggie
right.
was about the flow.
Right.
So they were kind of on different planes.
Mhm.
Pac, unfortunately, he was on one plane of consciousness, and he realized that I can't get rich this way. I got to do this
Mhm.
gangster stuff, this thug stuff, and then he just went crazy.
Right.
Will he have flipped back once he got his money back to the other
Probably
way?
so.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Probably so. Yeah, but he had gone into acting.
I was just gonna say he
Yeah.
was probably get more into acting than he
Yeah.
did rapping because
Because that's where your money is.
that's where the money is. They got a lot of money in the music itself.
No,
I mean,
Yeah.
not unless you form.
it's especially now, especially streaming and how that works. I mean, they getting pennies on the dollar
Yeah.
Right.
for streams. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, so it's
Because we
different.
don't have any more record stores. Nobody's
Right.
going in buying albums
No.
at 45,
Yeah.
no more
Not at all.
CDs.
Not at all.
It's Apple Music, and you're being charged, and they're not getting no money.
Absolutely.
So you say Pac and Biggie.
Yeah, so I'm not going there. Because to be honest with you, I like both of their music, but I'm not like a fan.
Yeah.
So they haven't touched me where I can say, oh, I like one over the other.
Right. That's fair.
Mhm.
But I do, excuse me, what's your name?
That was for real. Honestly, and so a lot of Jay-Z's, a lot of rappers and artists, music in general, if it's not the right producer, it's gonna flop regardless.
Right.
Jay-Z and Lil Wayne both had the privilege of having good producers.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne had BT
Oh, I love BT.
Mhm.
Mhm.
and
He's a lot of for real.
a lot of for real. Yeah, a lot of other producers.
Right.
And then those guys are prolific.
Yeah.
And that's producers opposed to rappers is even harder
Is the
because you can say for real too, man. You like, wait, I don't know who to pick because they both had a lot of hits across genres.
yes, they do.
But I mean,
Yeah.
Jay-Z has some good hits. The way has some good hits too. You know, and
So I think it goes back and forth, but it just depends on your preference.
preference, region. You know,
Yeah.
if you go ask somebody from New York, who's the best? They're gonna say New York. They're gonna say Jay-Z.
They're gonna say Jay.
There's somebody from New Orleans, they're gonna say Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne. That's
There's
right.
somebody from the West Coast, they're gonna say Tupac.
Right.
There's somebody
Yeah.
from Brooklyn, they're gonna say Biggie.
And someone down south, they're gonna say Outkast.
I mean,
Okay,
right.
yeah.
Honestly, hey,
Styles
you know,
got something to say.
so- Buzz has something to say.
No, I think Jay-Z kind of, even though he created his own lane, he's kind of imitating or he followed the footsteps of something, I think. Like even now, much so. Everybody keeps talking about the locks of the way he's doing,
Yeah.
but he's just trying to be Basquiat. You know who that is? The famous artist, who died at 27. Let me show you an image
So
of
he
him.
need not to be trying to do that because he don't want to be dead.
He'll pass the age.
I understand that
But
behind
look,
Jay-Z 50-some years old now.
yeah, that's stuff like that. Oh,
Yeah, you know Basquiat. Too.
Yeah, I know who Basquiat is.
Yeah, so but Basquiat was what was the white guy who was with the you know his artwork. I just watched his documentary, pop culture artist, but he was God, who was Basquiat's? Y'all seen him, the one with the Madonna with all the different squares on there.
I'm not quite sure.
When I say the name, you're gonna be like, I was just thinking about his mentor was I just watched this.
I mean, look it up. Can you find it?
Yeah, I just watched his documentary. Andy Warhol.
Oh,
Andy Warhol.
I didn't know
Andy
that.
Warhol. Andy Warhol was his mentor.
Okay.
okay.
So Andy Warhol had a documentary that I just watched not too long ago, and it talked about the relationship between him and Basquiat and how they used to do certain work and stuff like that. And so yeah, that's who his mentor was. And I think, like you said, he was 27 when he died.
Something like that. He was young.
27. I have a church that got like the 27.
Okay.
And so I think Jay-Z is now emulating
Yeah,
Basquiat. The whole hair look, that's what Basquiat was doing. And so I don't know, like,
he does do that. He does that.
Beyonce to her beautiful husband,
Well,
yeah, he was like to my and people were just like, you know, the memes that were on Facebook telling when she said my beauty has a picture. But beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so he could have a beautiful soul.
yeah.
I mean, you know, who knows? I mean, I don't know the dude, so I can't even speak to that. You know, I mean, when we talk about, you know, I think most people when they heard beautiful, they first our eyes went to the face.
They think physical, yeah.
And I think our westernized minds that internalized Western beauty standards made Jay-Z ugly, right? And I don't have an opinion one way or the other about the brother because I don't know him and I don't really care about how men look in general.
Right.
But when you look at big lips, fat noses, you know what I mean? Like you think, oh, you know, in a certain way their face looks. They call him ugly. Yeah. Jay-Z, what's the other guy? Jonathan Majors. We were just talking about
Jonathan Majors. You know? Yeah, because he doesn't fit the typical.
Right. Westernized, right? And they call those kind of guys ugly. Instead of saying, you know what? Maybe he is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So they've been together now for what? 10 plus years now. So it's obviously something there.
Something that other than money, because you remember a lot of people thought they got together to be a powerhouse.
Well,
but I think that she really loved him. I think that she saw it's something there.
It has to be something there. I mean, they're in the same, they're in the same, a lot of the same circles, and you know, a lot of the same status. They're on equal footing. Right. And I think there's a lot of when you with somebody, you find understanding, which turns into love. For like we have understanding that person. So there's something there. There's something there. You know what I mean? I saw a lot of people right there, like, oh, ugly, based on how you look, and not because of
people better stop judging the book by the cover.
Well, because think about it, when you get to a certain status, as we all know, when you get to levels of elevation, you've experienced beauty in a way that most people haven't experienced. Right. You've traveled probably every corner of the continent. Yeah. You've seen things, you've been in places that most people can imagine, never imagine. You see what I'm saying? You've had the finest food, finest clothes, the finest, you travel with the best of everything. So when you get to that certain point, it's like nothing moves you. So at that point, you have to go way deep beneath the physical and the surface to find things that move you. Right. You see what I'm saying? It's like, you know, Jay-Z, I'm pretty sure his body count is up there. He's seen the women of all types of girls, he was telling the truth.
Absolutely.
He got Nietzsche mama, he got all kinds of women, you see what I'm saying? And Beyonce, because who she is, she's only been in the presence of certain caliber of men when she got to a certain status. So it had to be something different to pique her interest. Right. Because I'm pretty sure she could have had any probably do she wanted to at some point. Any dude she wanted at some point. So it had to be a certain thing that to pique her interest. Because again, we all know that once you get the physical is great. But once you get past the physical, that's one thing that you learn the older you get. Right. That physical only going to sustain so much.
Okay.
You go get to a certain point in your life, I don't care how beautiful or how good you look. If your soul is rotten, I cannot be in your presence. I don't want to do it. You know, and men say a lot. When people from the world, there's a man out there, that's what men say, they can't stand her guts. And you guys might have to tell that. When we see a woman, when we figure like she's just the ultimate beauty, and she's by herself or she's alone, there is at least one man who can stand around her. But that tells us, and you know, that's how we say, we know that beauty, it gets the attention, but it only takes it so far.
There's quite a few beautiful celebrities that can't keep a man to save their life. And you know what I mean? It's one of them.
Halle Berry is one.
Yeah.
I mean, Halle Berry, you know, I mean, I hate even say it, Nia Long. Yeah, you know, not that something's wrong with or Halle Berry, but there's something going on here. When you common denominator is always that same person. It's like, all right, now, so what's going on with you?
You have to start looking at yourself.
Yeah. You gotta look at yourself, and that's why I was talking about earlier about accountability. Like, there's something going on there where you ain't all that you talk about. You fine, but what's really under the sheet? What's really going on?
At the core of you, there's something that needs to be worked on or something like that. So that's, you know, where beauty can get you in the door, but beauty can't keep you there. Beauty can get you the attention, but beauty don't get you the ring.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that later. If marriage is the goal, their beauty is only going to take you so far. Because again, and you may speak. I'm speaking from experience. You can speak from experience. We all can. There's been some people physically they were gorgeous. Physically they looked hard. They had everything going for them physically, but the person that they were on the inside, we just could not deal with it. It made them ugly. It made them unattractive. But so everybody like you like Paris, you like her. You want you to have. You know what I'm saying? The person on the inside of the interior is ugly. So it makes a difference. So again, if somebody that beautiful can be so unattractive, somebody who is physically unattractive can be so beautiful on the inside.
Right.
So people hating on her, but she going to her mansion, her penthouse mansion, and her she doing what she's doing. They got 3 kids. They doing their life. I promise
best
you,
life.
you wish you could flip the script on the lifestyle that they're living and whatever they have going on. And so, that's the beauty of it. That's the thing that's important. That's what, hopefully everybody, needs to get to it versus everybody listening to this, what's his Blueface and Christiana Rock thing. That's the most toxic shit in the world. Excuse my French. I would take, you probably don't pay attention, but you know who Blueface is.
I know who they are.
Toxic. They be fighting one day. It's crazy.
Yeah,
But here's the flip thing, and a lot of people may not disagree with this. They might not agree with this. And people make fun of it. But if Bobby Brown did what he said, the way it was, because we did not understand their dynamic, but they're crazy men. And then Bobby, you really think that if Bobby Brown was still with Whitney Houston, she would have died in that tub? No, because he would have been right there with her.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? We didn't understand on the outside, and everybody was like, "Oh, wow." But Bobby, he knew her crazy. She knew he's crazy.
Yeah.
If Bobby Brown had stayed with Whitney Houston, she would not have died.
They would have got together in that tub.
They got together, right? She wouldn't have been in that tub alone by herself long enough. You see what I'm saying? He was crazy. She was crazy, but he was
crazy.
But they were there. If you put them on that island and they had to live by themselves without the distraction of the outside world and everybody trying to get ready to do an album and do all that, they would have did fine. They would. You see what I'm saying? So that's the beauty and that connection of finding somebody. So again, y'all can be mad all you want to. But
Beyonce living large.
Somebody like it.
Somebody doing it.
That's right.
Live for that part of yourself. That outside world knows. So.
And now we're going to move on to.
Let's talk about Jonathan Major. So everybody see your picture. Everybody see your picture. Let me tell you your honest opinion, Dr. D. What do you think about Jonathan Major? And do you remember him? He popped on the scene with that Lovecraft Country. Which was a great series. I hated they only stopped at one season. Lovecraft Country was the bomb. Did you watch that? That boy popped out. What do you think about it? If you saw him on the street, look at her face. Look at her face. But oh boy, blowing up. He's everywhere.
Why he looking like that?
This was like anime. It was like a tribute to anime, which some people don't understand. But again, if this had come out in the 70s, nobody would say it.
No, because he looked like a Marvel guy.
Yep. Nobody would say anything.
They would have said that because you look at our Earth, Wind, and Fire, what they used to wear.
I swear.
I swear.
The 70s was a wild time.
How you play it. And hold on, we can go further. What about Funkadelic?
Yeah.
Come on now. George Clinton, they wore diapers.
Sure did. Sure did.
So we can't talk about the young man, but times have just changed now. So we think this is odd, it's peculiar. is touching femininity. What's really going on with him? Is he coming out the closet? People are probably wondering.
He's not though, but
I'm just saying,
right.
When we look at the picture, this is what people perceive because they weren't brought up in the 60s and the 70s where we understand the dynamics of how these artists used to dress. And so did he say that he was paying homage to Ahmad or whatever it's called to Anna May?
Did he?
I don't think he said it. No,
I don't think he did. But it was one of those things where if you know, then you know. If you don't, then you can kind of go to hell because it's one of those things. It's like it's a picture. It's a photo shoot for a magazine cover. You've seen all kinds of magazine covers that really push the envelope. I mean, I think about Janet, when she had her hand on her head, he had the guy. Right. Also, like from Rolling Stone. And that was a controversial magazine cover. But it didn't mean it's a magazine cover.
Right.
It wants to get your attention. That's the point. You want to win. And if John Major
now, them lips, he didn't have to hold his lips like that.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so so this is the stylist who did it. Stylist Alexander Julian drew inspiration for this look from the anime character Danicote do Flamingo from the show One Piece. Yeah, so he did it. He says, I believe you can be inspired by anything, your surroundings, the people you are with, what you see, color, and more. I love anime. I've watched it for years. I draw a lot of style inspiration from anime, and One Piece is particularly stylish. I like this show not just because it's anime, but because it talks about real world issues like slavery, government, corruption, and other mature things that Ebony's feature cover shoot stylist. So also it goes on to say there's no agenda out there to emasculate Black men. If anything, there's a mission to allow them to feel liberated enough from the shackles of egomaniac masculinity, the dictation that governs how a man should act in society based on outdated rules to embrace whatever self-expression feels best for them. So that's kind of the thing behind it. And again, it's either you like it, you don't like it, but I don't think it's an emasculation. It's something that he chose to do. It's something like that. And one of my favorite artists is you on the Prince bandwagon.
But Prince ain't gonna never hold you all that.
Prince had his butt cheeks out.
But he ain't do his mouth like that. Prince made sure wore blouse.
And I'm a Prince fan.
Oh, he was Prince wore blouses. He wore shirts.
Okay, so you a Prince had shirts of women. If I had to wear one, the women in
Prince was represented.
Prince had
Prince had.
He wouldn't have did it like that. No, he didn't. Show me a couple of
Okay, let's go with some Prince.
Show me
if you see his other projects, the Ant-Man Quantumania that just came out, he holds his stuff a lot. I think it's just natural. I promise you, it was a four-time dog Ant-Man movie. Me and my wife went to see it, and I was laughing hard because he was in these scenes. So I think it's one of the more natural looks that you're doing. I hope something is being forced. But also the Prince.
Yeah, but see his lips like
what does that lip mean?
Well, he had questions.
And even when he was looking like everybody auntie, he still didn't hold it.
What does lip mean? Butt cheeks lip. Prince had his butt cheeks out. So that's what I'm saying.
But he had his butt cheeks out, but that was still. That's
what was
okay
that?
For him to do that.
That's okay. So Jonathan Major had his butt cheeks out. You've been okay.
I've been all right. That's like it.
And Prince, as Tommy said on boy, Prince GTD.
Right.
Prince got the draws. Prince got the draws.
He draws, he
all that he wanted. You see what I'm saying? He got the draws.
Yeah, he got them.
Right. Bell bottom.
Yeah, still be like, nah. Still say I come take your woman. What?
Okay. Nobody questioning you.
Right, nobody questioning him. It's like, what no question about You know, but again, I think it's like the pendulum that swings. It's either go too far one way or the other, and it has to swing back and forth. So I don't know what this guy's sexuality is. What it is.
I mean, it's business.
It is business because I think what it is. Yeah, we're speaking on the picture because I think we've got it's got so politically correct now, and it's got so convoluted with the imagery and the pronouns, everything that you can't just appreciate a piece of art or just imagery just for what it is. You say whatever you want with it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You just say whatever you want from it. You cool, you feel it. If you're not,
I mean, but it's also like if we want to see Black people and Black men as fully formed human beings, you can't try to place them in the box. The box you're going to be in. We should be able to wear pink. We should be able to have our We should be able to cross our legs. We should be able to do. Black men should be able to do just as much as every other group of people, and not be called emasculated. If we want to be a fully formed human being, the fact that it was mostly Black folks speaking on how Jonathan Major's cover looked speaks to that. A lot of us are still in that construct where man is really what gender roles are. And not allowing us to be full human beings.
Right.
And when I think I saw something on Twitter, somebody said something like that, but it was just like, why aren't Black men allowed to be soft?
Yeah.
Why aren't we allowed to be vulnerable? Why aren't we allowed to wear pink? Why aren't we allowed to have our shoes off? Why aren't we allowed to cross our legs? Why can't we have a pink background? Why are all those things still things when we are just human beings?
Right.
And it's a spectrum of how people in general are, whether it's effeminate, masculine. Black men aren't allowed to be that. We had to fit a certain stereotype. We had to be the hard, the tough. We can't be soft. And I feel like his magazine cover is almost like a direct middle finger to that. Screw your image, your image expectations of who a Black man should be. This is who I am. Absolutely.
How I'm supposed to look as a Black man.
Absolutely. We're trying to break out of that, away from that, so we can just be as human, not as masculine beings. We're more than just masculine beings.
Yeah.
Especially if you want Black men to show more emotion. You get them to show emotion in all kinds of ways, right? It's a magazine cover, or through our actual words and emotions.
Yeah.
When you shut us down to you want to look a certain way, act a certain way, you guys done us be fully formed.
Right.
And I think the big issue with when I first saw on emasculating our men, he's like, so what are men supposed to be exactly?
Right. Yeah.
They can come in all types of forms. And not just one box.
Yeah, absolutely. Because again, I think earlier on in the 70s, Black men started exploring there. It came in the way they were dressing and stuff like that. Look at Rick James. Look at all them 70s and how they started to explore that, but it's like maybe it got too uncomfortable because the 80s, we did a flipped script and we went straight hard. We went straight to hard. 80s, it went back to the hard. 80s and 90s, it was about being hard, being dug, not doing all that. You know what I'm saying? So that's when that evolved, and now the pendulum has to swing back the other way because again, pink. I didn't even wear pink. My son, the new. That's why I have so much hope for the new generation. My son, like all the kids now, they got pink hoodies, they wear pink shoes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's no thing now. So now I'm desensitized from before. Growing up in the 90s, the late 90s, they no pink shoes on, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I might have one pink shirt that somebody might have bought me that I had to do, but it wasn't pink. It wasn't like something that men wore. And Black men, my guys did. But Black men did wear pink. Right. I can't even one of the artists, Cameron or something, started doing all that pink stuff. He started doing all that pink stuff, and then now the kids, they just embrace it. And then now you think about it, it's like, it's just the color.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It says nothing about who you are as a person and how you move.
Yep.
And now, like the kids, like I said, they mixing the boys. They wear pink just as much as the girls. There's no color that they don't they're not afraid to wear anymore. And so, you know, it took me some while. I still don't have a whole bunch of pink stuff, but I think somebody got the shirt. My daughter said this is a pink shirt or something like that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So the kids bring that to you, but we had, like you were saying, we had to be hard. We had to be that support for the community or something, because if not, we didn't get the outcome that we wanted. So, you know, I think this is a reiteration of that. You know, we'll see how more artists are and how more people are, because again, I think we're really going away. At some point, we've been oversaturated with the thug mentality, that hip hop and all that thuggish stuff and that rapping, and there's got to be another side to it. You know what I mean? So I think the culture is slowly moving away from that. We got to move to that. It's like, okay, it's got to be more than this. I think more about that. When we go to other places, when you travel, you see other people, you know, there's a different side of it. So shout out to Jonathan Matthews and
Man, big things, man.
We're gonna wrap it up. Let's
he's done. So I got a couple videos that I want y'all to react to.
Right.
So we're gonna see, you know, what y'all responses are.
Come on here.
Come on here, look at it. Okay, so I gotta make it a good one first. So I gotta make it good. I ain't gonna try to be too controversial, but let me see. That's something that I want to mention to you. Let me see. I'm gonna play your Coco Brown one first.
Yes, play Coco.
I didn't necessarily agree with her, so let's make sure. I think you can hear this one. This is a comedian. Let me see. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay.
I've been fortunate to travel this whole world and meet black women from every continent, every country. And I hear the saying, I can't find a good man. Where the good men at? And I'm like, that's crazy to me. But it made me realize that there's one thing that black women all over the world have in common, no matter where we are. We are so loyal. We are loyal. Because do you realize, sisters, that we are the only race of women that base love on race? Any other race of women will define her family, her culture, her religion for love. But black women, there's a whole ocean out there, will stay put, fishing in the same lake, catching the same guppies, hopefully get some different. And I think it's time, ladies, it's time for us to see beyond race and find love where it finds us. Life is too short. You know, but every time I do this joke, I swear it's always some woke, dreaded frankincense and marshmallow rolling up on me, mad at talking about how you gonna tell black women that y'all trip on us? I'm like, you got some damn nerve, Jamal. Cause y'all been jumping ship on us since we came over here on ship. Couldn't wait to get your black off the boat, shackles and all. To holler at Miss Millie, what is your name? I've never seen skin so good. Your eyes are like the ocean, your hair's like me, your skin is like me. I like to stick my spear in you. What is your name? But got the nerve to get mad when you see a black woman jump ship. Let me tell you why they get mad, boo-boo. Because 9 times out of 10, when a black woman do jump ship, that jump to a cruise liner. When have you ever seen a black woman jump down when she jumps ship? Now, black men, no disrespect, but I have realized from my research that when y'all jump, y'all don't give a flying for y'all land. I have seen y'all with some questionable flotation devices, honey. You don't give a canoe, a tugboat, a raft, a piece of wood, a seashell. You don't give a shit. You be able to give his sisters a hard time, but you walk around proud with honey boo boo. Never understood that. But when black women jump ship, honey, we go hard. Look at the track record. Venus and Serena, multi-millionaires. Eve, billionaire. Janet Jackson found a man-owned sound. How do you want all the same don't work? And Meghan Markle got the photos from her. You can say what you want, you got a whole press. And let me tell you something, honey. If you do not think that black girl magic is real, let me break it down to you. Because Meghan Markle is a kid. Meghan Markle ain't the half black, and she very rarely claim that. But black girl magic is so that generation woman have the power to make a red-headed, freckle-faced white boy from England talking Buckingham Palace and look his grandmother, the queen, in the face and say, away with his whole chest in a crown. We don't need nothing. Me and my doing LA business. Who takes up?
Okay, so this is, she said a couple. We won't take it in part.
That's a lot to unpack.
Let's take it in one part.
Okay. Go ahead.
Black men don't want black women.
She didn't say they don't want. She said that, you know, as single black women wanting to be with the black men are often selecting outside of the
I disagree with that.
Okay.
Because I think that black men want to be with black women. Their first preference is black women. So that's what I think. What do you think?
I think that just with most things, there's a spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
So there are black women that want to be with black women. Then there are black men that hate themselves that want to be a white woman. There are black men that are gay. And there are black men that are overseas. And there are black men that are less than 18. There's a lot of qualifiers that not want to make you unqualified or less like any black man or anybody in general. Which then leaves a smaller market for women to choose from. But I think there's a lot of parts and aspects that have to be broken into whatever black women want. Because I mean, if we're not a monolith, then black women are not a monolith. And black women want something different as well as black men. That's what I think.
All right. And she's just saying that, of course, it is hard for a single black woman she holds out for the black men. But the thing that she keeps saying that we keep going to the same fund. You're going to change your fund.
That don't mean you go to the white fund.
No.
That's what I
It could be your same hangout that you're going to.
Okay.
That you got to change it up. You're doing the same thing. You're not doing anything different. You need to change your mentality up. You know, and I hear this a lot from black men. Black women need to change your perspective of perception or your list.
Okay.
You got to go in and examine those things. Because sometimes you could set your standards way too high. Not saying that you got to bring them down and go below your standards. You don't have to do that. Certain things we need to, as black women, need to sit back and think and analyze. Is this list realistic? Is this ideal? Okay. We know a black man is out there, but sometimes your list may be out of order. It may be fantasy. You know, and I'm thinking that's all she's saying. You know, going to the same place as she's saying that black women do not want to give up on our black men. But when we're constantly seeing our black men giving up on black women and going to the other races, we need to now change our thoughts and beliefs to stop only wanting black men. Open up your heart to receive other ethnicities that you may can date and marry.
That may be possible, but what kind of black men are you looking at? Because there are a lot of black men out there. You know what I mean? I was just looking at there's 21 million black men. That's in America. Mm-hmm. We don't talk about, I don't see black as an American construct. And we never talk about the Africans and the Middle Easterns that are darker skin, the Dominican Republics. Black men, American black men, there's 2 million of them. And of that, about half of them are under 18, and about 30% is over 55. So then you're looking at about 5 million black men that have available. When you're looking at, because there are a lot of black men out there with the athletes, then that's not going to make a representation, because that's like less than 1% of who black men are. If you look at the celebrities, that's even less than 1%. There's a lot of black men out there, black women too. But then at the time, we all have standards, we all have expectations. I can't speak for all women, but what I've seen, in my personal experience, black women have some pretty high standards when they want out of a man. Which is nothing wrong with have the standards,
Right.
right? Because you want to be able to constantly fit your lifestyle, fit who you out of the other. Understand that people are going to be reduced pretty low because all your standards are not going to be met in every single thing that you meet.
Right. Okay.
So it's a very small amount left for, let's say, there are 43 million black people in America, men and women. One of them are men. The other 22 million are going to be women. So that means maybe 12 million women trying to find over 5 million men. The math is not about math. Somebody's going to end up not getting what they want because you choose it from the same pool of people. And then out of that pool, there's still those narcissists, there are still those those guys that don't fit the mold that you may want to find out of a man. So these are a lot of women fighting over 3-4 women fighting over one man. So there may not be a lot of good men left, there are still a lot of good men left because a lot of good men are just not being chosen because they don't fit all the expectations, the mold that black women are trying to find, opposed to maybe opening it up a little bit and saying, okay, you know what? He's gonna have hit all my marks, but he hits a lot of the marks that I was looking for.
Right.
Then that opens it up more. When you're trying to find the perfect man,
I don't think no one is going to find the perfect man or the perfect woman. I don't think that it's not. It's not reasonable. It's not ideal for someone to say, "I found the perfect man." No, you didn't. You found someone that you're able to say, "I can get along with him," or "I can get along with her."
I say all the time. I mean, I'm very picky in general, and I say to my wife on a regular basis, "I like you enough that you don't get on my nerves." You know, and I say that as in. Most people get on my nerves at some point. You know, me being a bartender, I talk with a lot of people get on my nerves. Which I say on a regular basis, like, look, I love you because you don't get on my nerves, but for so much, if at all. You know what I mean? Like, I love you, though. I want to be around you on a regular basis. I don't get tired of you. Find somebody that you actually like. Opposed to find somebody that's going to be what you think is going to be the perfect, checking all the boxes. It's like you say, it's unreasonable because we're all gonna have idiosyncrasies we're not gonna like about somebody else. We're all gonna have those flaws that we don't want to deal with. Instead of saying, you know what, you have this flaw, I'm not a fan of it, but there's a lot more good in you than there is negative. So let's try to figure this out. And I think a lot of women, especially younger women, 35 and under, millennials, that are trying to find guys that fit all of these boxes.
Taking the boxes, and that's what's going to get a lot of women caught up in trouble. Trying to click every box. Sometimes, this is what I just started out with, you have to go back and revamp those things. And go and say, okay, now that's good. No, okay, let's keep this one. Let's do away with this one. Don't go adding on, but start subtracting from that list.
You should have 3 core things.
What is that, Mr. P?
I don't know what those are. I'm just saying it shouldn't exceed 3.
3 things.
3 core things. There should be 3 core things that are important to you. So most times, we've always done presentations. You've been in the corporate world. When you do presentations, they tell you don't go past 3 because once you get past 3, nobody don't remember all that. Most of the stuff is not significant. Once you put those 3, unique. There should be 3 core things that you look for in somebody that you're dealing with, a partner. Where if you're big on religion, they're grounded in faith. Cool, that's what you do. There should be 3 things that they're giving. That what's important to you. Okay, good. They're kind. 3 core things. After that, if they got those 3 core things, or whatever it is, I'm not saying they got to be those 3 that I many. They could be hard work. Could be one of those. You see what I'm saying? Because if you know that you're ambitious, or you want somebody ambitious should be on there.
Yeah.
So it should be they're ambitious and they make 6 figures because that is flow. Because they're ambitious, they're gonna try to get the best out of who they are and try to get the best. So they're going to be working toward that. They may not get there, or they may be there, or they may be there 10 years later. But there should be core things that you should focus on.
Right.
When your list goes down, you got this. We talked about 6'6". You got to be 6 foot. 6 figures, 6 inches. Then y'all add all these other things.
They starting to put that on there.
Yeah, well, that's the 6'6" rule.
Yeah, I forgot that.
Yeah, they got to be
6 figures.
6 foot, at least 6 inches.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
yes. Men they add on other stuff.
You know, the funny part about that is not about that rule, but just about in general. Sometimes women's expectations will contradict each other. I want to be ambitious, but I want to have time for me.
Right.
Hold on. You be ambitious, you have time. You want to make a lot of money, you have time to give you by your side.
Right, yeah.
That is so true because you're going to get with a man that's making 6 figures.
It's going to take a lot of his time.
1%. He's not going to be home with you, baby.
He's not going to be home.
He don't have time. He's out here on the grind. He's got to do his thing. So you got to be able to entertain yourself. You got to be able to have a life of your own.
Yeah.
You got to have some things going on.
Right.
Don't be banking on what he's got going on, because you'll be sitting there twiddling your thumbs like, oh, this is what I wanted and miserable.
Yeah, you're miserable.
Because he's not gonna be home sitting looking at you, gazing in your eyes.
Yeah, because here's the thing. There's again, like he said, the contradictory things. You want him to be a great husband, which is could be subjective. You want him to be a great father. You want him to be a great provider. Now, he has to prioritize those two things. If he's that great provider in a lot of aspects, like you said, if you want him to you want this lifestyle, he got to make 7 figures. One of those other two things is going to fall down. Everybody's gotten this notion, and I'm going to pick on Steve Harvey for this. I'm pretty sure Steve Harvey is a great provider. He might be a great husband. Well, I'm pretty sure some of them kids got some different definitions of what type of father he is. Simply because he works so much. You cannot be in multiple places at one time. Nick Cannon.
Oh my God! Thank you.
I'm pretty sure he's a great provider.
You know what
he's not a good father because he married him and mom.
In a way.
And he can't be in, and he just admitted, you can't be in several places at several times. You see what I'm saying? So you have to decide what you can live with, what you can't. And at some point, people do have an opportunity to change their ebb and flow. Because again, when you're moving through this thing called life, you're at different stages in your life, and at some point where you focus on providing, once you achieve a certain amount of financial success, and you can become a better father, you can become a better spouse, and you got to be people who will do that. You know what I'm saying? So you can't have all these. And I really think that there's somebody out here who's checking all these boxes. Same thing for men.
Absolutely.
You want her to be the best cook. You want her to look good all the time. You want her to be the best mother. You want her to do all this. You got to be realistic, bro. If you want her to be home taking care of household, taking care of kids, and being, physically fit and all that other stuff, something's gonna give. Something's got to be okay with sometimes her not having a hot meal. You got to be okay with sometimes her not looking at her physical protection. You got to be okay with sometimes the kids gonna supersede your needs.
Because if she be taking care of the kids all day, cooking all day, and cleaning all day, let's believe she ain't gonna look top tier shit. Because she'll be tired.
She'll be tired. She'll be stressed.
And ain't nothing wrong with
it. Kids are stressful.
Yeah.
As hell. I know he's stressful.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? So it's like these people say these levels, and I'm not saying anybody different, because I had some clearly unrealistic expectations when I first got married. When I first got married, my wife was still in school. She wasn't working, so I was working. I thought once we get married, man, I get home, it's gonna be hot meal on that plate. That plate when I walk in. I'm walking in, I'm like, I'm looking around. You ain't cook no dinner. Like, what you been doing all day? You cook no dinner. And, Dad wasn't happy. That first year was rough. So then I had to understand. I'm like, look, we got to level with these expectations. And oddly enough, my wife cooks now more at the older years. cook more and more than she did when we first got married. But you know, things change, ebbs and flows. When the kids were a priority, more focus was on the kids, more focus on that. So you have to be able to move like that. You know, it takes a very selfish individual to think that it's always going to be about you, the entirety of your relationship and your marriage, and they should only focus on you. And you know, they want you only to focus on it. That's a very selfish. Right. And that's for people. You know what I mean? That's for you. You want somebody for yourself not alone. You don't have to have friends. You don't have to have relationships with other family members. You want all the focus to be on you and not allow them to be a whole individual, a whole human being, and you will appreciate them more because sometimes, you know, you're your own worst enemy. You don't want to have to be the focus of everything their whole entire life. I'm like, get a life. You know what I mean? You want them to have a life outside of you. You want them to go, hey, boo, go do you, boo. You feel like you want to do this. They give me some time to do what I want to do and do nothing.
Go on God's trip.
Yeah, go on God's trip. Go on
to myself.
Yeah.
Let me be able to stare at the wall. And while you're gone, just enjoy myself. Right. Because many people get married and lose themselves within their husband or their spouse or their wife. And you got to understand that it's a partnership. You are one now. However, you still have your individuality.
And you have to
keep that for your sanity, keep your friends. You know, of course, we can have a different definition of married friends to single friends. Scripture says you have nothing to become with single people, married people. So that's a whole other topic right there. We're gonna leave that alone. What's the next thing that you want to play?
Okay, when you play something else, okay. That was okay.
Because we can segue on into our topic.
Yeah, but just to throw that back, and I know we went all over on a tangent, but according to the Census Bureau, 95% of Black men are married to Black women. So let's put that out there.
Mic drop.
98. Now it is slightly higher. 97.9% of white men are married to white women. So they're white men and white men don't want you. I'm just saying. Sorry. I'm sorry. They want white women first. Sorry. But I'm just putting it out there. That's basically on the statistics. So Black men do want to marry Black women. White men want to marry women. Most people want to marry people within their race first.
I just want to say
do it like that. So
I just want to say that a lot of white men that marry Black women is out of some kind of fetishization. And honestly, it's the other way around too. There's a lot of Black men that want to marry or be with white women for some kind of fetish, and vice versa. But there's a lot of fetishization that goes into those interracial relationships, which I'm not a fan of. It happened. People should be cognizant of that when they go looking for somebody outside of their race, because there's a lot of internal thoughts that are not shared until it's in the bedroom or behind closed doors. To me, I know it was one girl I went to all white school, but it was that girl I knew, and she ended up dating and marrying this white guy. Just to find out 4 or 5 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, that the guy was more or less a fetishization. He wanted brown children. Okay. He wanted brown people with those light eyes and the curly hair, and there was a bunch of fetishization going on, and not just love. Not that that's every single case, obviously not, but it exists. And it's a lot of that happens. And I said a lot on social media. Social media is a bubble of what society really is. Right. But there is some truth in there as well. People
all right.
Want to.
Okay. All right. So here, this is one that I thought was interesting. That I wanted to see, and this is one of like my favorite people that I like. 2 of my favorite people that I like. So this is Nikki Giovanni and you don't know his voice. I'm sorry, my mind is blank, but Listen to this.
Baldwin.
If I love you, I can't lie to you.
Of course you can lie to me, and you will. If you love me and you're going off with Maddie someplace, you're lying to me. Because what the hell do I care about the truth? I care if you're there. But Billie Holiday say, hush now, don't explain.
All right, I accept that.
Of course you'll lie to me. Because I don't even want to. What does the truth matter? And why are you going to be truthful with me when you lie to everybody else? You lied when you smiled at that cracker down the job, right? Lie to me, smile. Treat me the same way you would treat him.
I can't treat
You
you.
must. You must. Because I've caught the frowns and the anger. He's happy with you. Of course he doesn't know you're unhappy. You grin at him all day long. You come home and I catch up because I love you. I get least of you. I get the very minimum. And I'm saying, fake it with me. Is that too much of the black woman to ask of the black man?
Okay, did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you hear that? What do you think?
There's a lot there. I think the most, not the most, but still the most to me was that last line. Fake it with me, and I'm not really a fan of faking it with anybody. You shouldn't have to fake anything. It should be genuine. It should be real. If you're faking it, then why are you doing it in the first place? I know there's more context there to that, but that's just what stood out most to me was that last time. That's obviously what you wanted to say last. You take it with other people, take it with you. And that's taking it with somebody that you would be romantic or otherwise with. It doesn't really seem right.
Well, we've had discussion before, and many times we've seen it pop up before too. They be like, okay, does a man love the woman that he lies to more, or the one that he tells the truth to? What do you think? Does the man love the woman he lies to, or the one he tells the truth to? Which one does he love more?
Probably when I know.
What'd you say?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much the same. Like he does when he lies to, because he doesn't want to hurt her. But he may respect the other one more because he tells her the truth. Because love and respect are not mutually exclusive. So I think it's a little bit. I think it's more so like the latter. You love you love more.
Right. So I think that's
also context.
Yeah, that's also context. Because in this conversation, it was James Baldwin and Nikki Giovanni. And I think in this context, he was saying that we typically do this. We give the most grief to the people that we're closest to. Mm-hmm. So she was saying, just like that white man down there on the job, or Mr. Charlie, who you can't stand, but you fake it with him, you smile with him. Sometimes fake it with me, even though you're boiling on the inside, or even though that you want to explode on the inside, you don't have to give it. You fake it with me.
We shouldn't have to fake it with the person we love, though, right? Especially if there's a black woman that we're supposed to be able to confide in, and you understand me. Me being a bartender, I smile at white people's faces all day long.
Mm-hmm.
When I get home, I don't want to have to do none of that. I should be able to just kind of chill, relax, unpack my day without having to be fake.
Mm-hmm.
In some ways, I get what you're saying, but you really have to be fake with the person that you're the closest with. Right. I don't know faking with these white people. They don't know me. I'm just trying to make damn money. Mm-hmm. I don't have to go home to my wife and have to fake with you. I don't want to have to smile on your face. It should be okay to be real with you and tell you what really happened with my day. And you not think, he's not really, loving me because he's not, the same big smile that he was for the white man. Being black, you gotta smile for life. You don't smile for him. And then you get home, the safety of your home. I can unpack all that. You let it go. I don't gotta smile nobody else. I don't gotta think nobody else. I don't gotta laugh at no stupid joke. I don't have none of that. But a lot of times, not a lot, sometimes you don't have the opportunity to go home and just take off your mask.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't have the opportunity to I call it the representative, our professional representative. You know that when I was working for Wells Fargo, I had a whole representative. Like, you know, I didn't even have black people. I had, you know, low cut. You know, I spoke a certain way. You know, and then I would get home and the whole thing would switch up. Right? It's the same thing. At home, I don't want to be my representative. I don't want to put on that mask. I just want to be who I am. You shouldn't have to fake it with those that you love.
I think Baldwin called it like a double consciousness. I try to explain it to a white person. I try to explain it to him. I just like, I don't think you understand. You know, I was like, there's a double consciousness that black people have to have that you guys are not privy to. I had a conversation with him like, we were operating as two individuals, two consciousnesses at the same time, because we know that you guys can't handle who our true authentic selves are, because you're going to attach all this stigmatization, all this other stuff, and then your guilt with it, and you can't operate on it. So we have to operate as a double consciousness that you guys don't have to privy to. Y'all don't have to do it. You can be your true authentic racist blinders on unconscious self, and you be accepted for that, and nobody takes anything from you. And we come in there like, you know, nah, you know, y'all can't handle it. We're gonna be labeled. We're gonna be, you know. So it's a thing. So I get it. I understand that, and I think what Nikki Giovanni was saying back then was the burden that a lot of men feel, that we have to put on this shield even sometimes within our relationships, because y'all are looking for us to be the strength in this, and we can't be vulnerable with you.
Can't be Superman.
Well, we can't be vulnerable with a lot of them because
But you know what?
Y'all turning back against us.
That's the stigma that we've got to change. That's what we have to change, because we need to, in the society and the times that we're living in now, we need our black men to be able to come to us and be vulnerable. Because they do carry a lot of stress. They carry a lot of, you know, not just the world, but just society putting them down, making them less than. That when they come home, they should feel like they are the king of their castle. They should be made to feel comfortable to just let it all out, to need to cry in front of your wife, to be able to express your emotions without saying that you're weak, you're less than a man if you cry. This is the place that I'm supposed to, your husband, are you supposed to be able to communicate and let you be you. You know, we've got to stop this. A man shows his emotions that he's weak, that he's not a man. That control, that I never seen my daddy cry. Oh yeah, because your daddy didn't cry in front of your mama. I bet she cried when he got in that car when he got away from your mama, because he wasn't able to express himself. We've got to stop the stigma that black men are, that's they always this superhero, that they got to be the Incredible Hulk. You know, we have to embrace them and hug them and let them know, encourage them that it's okay to be themselves and just let go. I want to be there for my husband emotionally and mentally. You know, I don't want him having to go talk to someone else or seek therapists. I should be the therapist. And yeah, we do have therapists, but we not say that no go see a licensed psychologist. That's not what I'm saying. You should be your husband or your wife first line of therapy.
It should be.
Absolutely.
You should be, but what we learn in relationships is,
I mean, in the last few years, there's been a multitude of, and this is usually women of my age and younger, and you say things like, I'm not a therapist, I'm see a real therapist, or, don't put all that emotional, baggage on me. This is man else on that. A lot of, I'm using a lot, that's anecdotal. There are some women that do not want to, they don't want to do that. They don't want to, take on, their boyfriend or their husband, emotional baggage, or help them through a tough time.
They want to take on.
All they want is the good. You know what I mean? And that's the thing, you know.
Sad.
And I think it has a lot to do with, like, you know, social media and technology. You know, there's a lot of fast happiness, but not a lot of slow, uncomfortable situations. Where all they want is all the happiness. They don't want to go through none of the uncomfortable moments. Because it takes uncomfortable moments to get to the happy stuff, to get to the good stuff. I was been married for a minute now, you know, so you already know. Like, you got to go through some hard stuff to get to the good stuff.
You do.
I mean, I've been with my wife now for almost 5 years, but we've been married for 2. You got to get through some uncomfortable stuff to get to the good stuff. But a lot of some women just want stuff.
And don't want to deal with the other things that comes with it.
Absolutely.
You know, it really is unfortunate, and this is what's going to cause a lot of people to miss out on being married. And you're going to be a part of the singles committee. You're going to end up in divorce because you're selfish. You have to come in with an unselfish love.
You do.
Absolutely.
You do.
Absolutely.
If you're not coming in willing to give more than you get, it's not gonna work.
It's not gonna
You got to be willing. I'm not saying you're gonna wind up giving more than you get.
Right.
That's not a given, but you got to be willing to give more than you get.
Absolutely.
And a lot of women don't want to because they think it's all about them. Or the man think it's all about him. No. When you got married, you are one.
I seen a post a few weeks ago, and it was something like, men benefit the most from marriage. And my first thought was, why are we looking for the benefits of anything? What are you getting to it? You're me looking for what you're getting out of it. You know, if you're looking for what you're going to get out of a marriage or a relationship, you already lost that relationship. Now you're looking for how much can you get out of it? How much can you get out of it? Or a return on investment.
Right.
I was just saying, okay, I'm going to give my all to this person. I actually like them as a person. I'm happy. What can I get out of this? How can this person benefit me? How can this person, you know, my bills or love me or make me feel better, you know, about myself? You're looking for benefits in a relationship. You already lost a relationship because you're not really invested 100%. You're looking for how to get something back out of it. And you know, that don't really sound like it works to me. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, the benefit is the same. For me, the benefit is seeing my wife happy. That's my benefit. Seeing somebody that I love living their best life. You know what I mean? And that's what the benefit should be. Not how can this person make me feel better about myself. That sounds like a security. Right. That's a relationships thinking, how can that other person benefit them? Or they got a lot of money, cool, they can pay my bills. Oh, they go traveling, oh, they can work them. Oh, no, he works a lot, I don't gotta work no more. Or she works a lot, I don't gotta work no more. There's a lot of people looking for benefits from relationships. Always looking for how can I benefit this other person? How can I give more than I take?
Right.
And I think it has with our social media. I really do with me because, you know, we see, you know, what the quote unquote, you know, what celebrity relationships may look like, or, you know, what somebody better off maybe doing, and they want to compare to that. You know, Jordan took his girlfriend and said, hey, okay, well, I'm going to take it to McDonald's because that's what I can afford. You know what I mean? I don't love you, but this is what I can do for you. You know, and I think people try to get, take, opposed just trying to see what can I give more to this union, to see this person fully happy, fully involved, and, you know, just fully satisfied with me. But I mean, some people are narcissists. You know, some people are for themselves. So, you know,
do you think that comes from they not seeing successful relationship or not having any clue what a successful relationship looks like or marriage looks like?
Absolutely. I mean, there was I had an ex, and, you know, not that I didn't like her or whatever, but her parents were divorced. And her parents were divorced early in her life. So she used to say to me all the time that, you know, things like, oh, you know, marriage won't work out for me because, you know, divorce runs in my genetics. It's all you see. That's all you know. All you know is arguing and disagreements. She didn't know, how to work past, issues, how to work past conflict resolution. All she knew was, oh, well, my parents divorced, my grandparents divorced. I'm going to get divorced too. So you were really never invested in trying to make anything really happen first. Because you were already kind of checked out because you didn't think that you could really, make a relationship work because that's all you knew was divorce and just non-working relationships in general. I think that definitely plays a part in it. What you see is what you're raised around is what you're going to end up doing in life. I mean, I was fortunate enough that my parents, they've been together now for 35 years. It'll be 35 years, 36 years in August. My grandparents have been 60 plus years. So I was very fortunate to be around adult figures that had successful relationships. So I knew what it looked like. I knew what love looked like. I knew what unconditional love looked like. There are a lot of those that don't, and it's not their fault. But at the same time, it is their fault, and it is their right, and it is their responsibility to find what's going to work for them, and not basing what their relationship would look off of their parents or their grandparents.
Right.
Okay, so what if your parents got divorced? What if your grandparents got divorced? How are you going to act? How are you going to be different? What are you going to learn from these past relationships? Have you ever talked to your mom and your dad about why they didn't work?
Right.
Find ways to get past that. If you know that may be something, if you know you're good, just like your dad, and you have a big commitment. Find why that is.
That is so true. Because just because you have a history, a generational cycle of people shacking in your family or divorcing your family doesn't mean that you have to continue that same cycle. You have to come in it with a new perspective, a new outlook that, hey, what my mom and my dad or what happened in my past, in my family, is not going to happen here.
Right.
That I'm going to do things different. I'm going to be the one that breaks this cycle. Well, we can believe in marriage again.
Yeah.
We can believe in unity again.
Yeah.
Versus, oh, it ain't going to work out. No, you can't have that mentality. It's time to switch that mentality up, because if you don't switch the mentality up, it's going to continue to go from generation to generation to generation, and you're going to be missing out.
Yeah, and we had this conversation I think last week, or I don't think marriage isn't the goal for a lot of them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like they're not in the marriage mindset. Nope. Marriage is not the goal, so I don't know. They're just going through this life and
going through the
cycle, right? Marriage is not the goal.
Absolutely. I mean, and honestly, marriage isn't for everybody. You know what I mean? Some people aren't built to be married. I mean, I realize it now, 2 years in, that it's just not for everybody. Some people like their independence. Some people don't like to check in with somebody else. Some people don't like to have somebody that depends on them, vice versa. Some people just like their independence, and that's cool too. But know that, and don't make comments like there's no guys out there. No, he's gonna be independent.
Right. So if that's what you want to be, just be that.
Just be that. Yeah. That's okay. But don't try to put it on somebody else. Don't try to blame somebody else. Take accountability for your own life. If that's what you want, know that. But don't string on all these folks with you, man or woman, that are looking for something more. But you already know you want to have your fun. You want to have your freedom. You want to check in with nobody. You want to call nobody. If you want to be out late, all those kind of things matter, right? In a relationship, hey babe, I'm coming home late tonight. And I'm going to know some friends. Some people don't want to do that. So they don't want to call home and say, hey, I'm going to be home 2 hours late. You want to just go. Being good for a relationship, and that's fine, but don't act like you are, because you're not. Right. You're not going to be selfless enough to give your energy to somebody else that requires it. You want to move how you want to move, with no checks and balances. And marriage is all about compromising. Checking in with each other, make sure you good. Okay, I'm good. This is where I want to be. communication.
Mhm.
And some people don't want to communicate.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
They want to just do what they want to do. Especially people, my age and younger. I guess I'm calling it TikTok.
Right.
The TikTok kids.
TikTok kids, yeah.
And it's more than just TikTok, but that's they don't want to check in with nobody. You be independent, be free.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you dare start talking about you want a significant other, because you're gonna have to check in with that person. You're gonna have to let them know what's going on.
Mhm.
And if you ain't prepared to do that, just be by yourself.
Yeah. And then I just, if that's what you want to be, I'm like, why do you? It's like, why do you downplay people who do, or try to discredit people who want to be married, or who wants to have a successful relationship? You know what I mean? Cool, do you, boo? But if there's people out there, don't discourage others who want to be in a relationship, who want marriages to go.
Right.
It's like, it's just a piece of paper. No, it's not just a piece of paper.
Right.
A license is just a piece of paper. You got that, didn't you?
She did.
You want to drive on these streets?
Right.
You only got that piece of paper. We'll go get this piece of paper. You know what I mean? So that's always my thing. Like, cool. If you don't want to do this, cool.
Go get that piece of paper
go
that's
get that piece of
honorable
paper.
in God's
So-
eyesight.
Right. So, we do better.
Misery loves company. That's
It
for
does.
sure.
It does. All right. So we want one more before we get to the topic. Let me see.
You sure you don't want to go and get into the topic? We got the peak with almost 2 hours.
Okay.
Y'all know Mr. Peak will talk. Honey. Let's get into the topic. Let's get into the topic.
I just wanted to see this.
Ooh, I wish I hadn't have done that. I made the wrong choice, because those admissions of regret are so often weaponized against us. It is so frustrating that we can embrace the ideal, men just need to grow up, they need to find themselves, they need to sow their wild oats, they need to get their shit together, they're growing, they're building, they're working. But women aren't allowed to grow up. Women aren't allowed to evolve. Women aren't allowed to mature. That the decisions that you make in girlhood are supposed to be your decisions. You have to live with that for the rest of your life, and you can never have or do better ever. It's a mixture of, when it comes to Black women, racialized misogyny, aka misogynoir. But there's also something in there about the logics of carcerality, like living in the West and living in the United States in particular, that we've internalized. That it's like, once you make a mistake, you have signed up for suffering forever. I reject that. So many women don't want to.
So you think that women are held to their past more than men? That's basically what she's saying. You have thought on that?
I'm ready for the topic.
Here she goes. Everybody like me.
Well, I'll say something about it. They just tried to drag Chris Brown for the 17th time. Something that happened back when he was 17 years old. This boy is 33? Excuse me, this man is 33, 34 years old.
You want to talk about that? Yeah.
15, 16, 17 years ago. They're trying to hold him to the same standard. Yeah, but the other man that they still trying to hold to the same standard from things that happened years ago. Now that it's only men that have past mistakes, you too. And but it's not only men. It's not only women. It's everybody.
I think the elephant in the room is that she's saying, and basically what it is children. It all boils down to your womb. If you don't have any evidence of your mistakes from the past, and children are not mistakes. I'm not saying children are mistakes, but in a lot of cases, we do have multiple kids by multiple fathers. Men in the present see evidence of your past mistakes. Right, so
it has always been here. So that's why it's passed down. Woman can't be perfect.
Well, I'm saying you got evidence. Men, we don't have. Long we don't drop no seed. We don't have evidence. You know what I'm saying?
It can be some evidence when y'all can get it up.
So that's evidence. If you man can get it up, that's evidence of the past. That
means ran out.
You want them ED conversions. Okay, Dr. D, we're gonna let y'all leave it at that.
Leave me alone.
For y'all brothers who got diabetes, I'm sorry.
Oh,
That's everything okay. You can get it up.
Hey, bro.
Karma.
Okay, let's get into this topic without me.
How you doing?
All right, we're gonna play this before, but I guess I hadn't heard it, so let's
So
hear it.
this is part two.
Part two.
Black women are tired.
Black women are tired. Okay.
Black women are tired. They're tired of being independent. They're tired of being looked at as the strongest. They're tired of having to take care of the kids by themselves. They're tired of bearing all the weight. Don't believe the hype that you see on all of these social media networks. Black women are tired, and the reason why I know this because I talk and have conversations with a lot of black women. And what a black woman really wants, she want to be able to go to the soccer games. She want to not have to be the sole leader and sole provider of her family. She want to support the man who God gave her to be with. She want to be a helpmeet. The thing is, she's been placed in this position where she's had to lead. She's had to step up to the plate and become something that she really didn't want to be in the first place. She want to support her man. She want to nurture her kids. She want to nurture her husband while pursuing things that she's passionate about. That's it. It's that simple. The thing is, she just can't find a suitable leader that she trusts to come in and relieve her of these responsibilities so that she can finally get some rest, because that's what she wants. Rest. Look, check this out.
We're gonna let our guests take that over. What are your views on
Black women.
part two? Because in part one, P and Dr. B gave our stance, our viewpoint. And so you as a guest, we want you to lead us in this discussion on part two.
Yeah, no problem. So there's a lot of little things I heard in there. But so okay, I'll start with this. First of all, black women are tired. They are very, very tired.
Oh Lord.
And I am right there with that sentiment. I mean, since you know, what year was this? The 1619, since the first black woman, actually a black woman in America, they have been tired because they have been protected. They have thrown themselves on the shield or on the sword to protect their families. So that's a very good sentiment. With that being said, I'm not sure black women know how to not sit down and not be tired. They know how to just not be the worker. They know it's part of why a lot of men for black women. Because y'all are workers, you do work hard. You are nurtured and protected. If you stop being who naturally you are, I'm not sure. And you'll be even less black women because you're not being who you naturally are. Let me not say naturally. Let me say so. We've been black women are. Those protected, nurturing of their family, where black men are protectors of their family, where women are the nurturers of their family. They're the ones that really keep this intact. I would love a multitude of black women to sit down and not do anything. But how many of them would be comfortable just sitting down and not doing anything? No. None of them, because I'm always grinding. My mom is grinding, my grandma is grinding, my aunts are grinding. I've never seen a black woman around me in my life that wasn't a worker, a hustler. They trying to get something out of their life. They want to have children. They ain't gonna sit down. They're not children. They're not in the household. So it's one of those things that I wish that would. But they were also out of that natural space to not work and not hustle and not give their all. Why you give your all is why you're tired, but it's also why so many people love y'all because y'all work and you will not stop until your job is done. So it's a double-edged sword, you know what I mean? You don't want to be tired? Cool, sit down.
Mhm.
But then the other side of that, the same love can be given because of the lack of, not the lack of, but not seeing that same drive that Black women have been known for. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. I mean, but again, I know women are tired.
And I like the point where you came from the slavery standpoint. The Black woman had to, because master took our husbands. They took their husbands, they took their sons. So they were the head of that household. You know, after they finished working for master and doing the different things for the big house, as they say. She had to come home, make sure she fed her children. Then she had to make sure, you know, she listened to them, her kids. Still had to be the nurturer in her household. Had to take all the ridicule from raising somebody else's child better than she was raising her own child. So she didn't have time to rest, you know. And so we get that independence, we get that stability, we get all that from our ancestors. Because they had to do it all when their husbands were sold off, separated out the nucleus of our family. So I always say that's why we, as a culture of Black men and women, our nucleus of our family was in slavery. And so that's why we don't have a clear dynamic of how a family should look. We have to look to the white person because our families was divvied up. And so since they were divvied up, the Black woman had to come out as hard. She had to come off as independent. She had to come out like she didn't need nobody, because she really didn't, because she had to do it all. So when a man comes into her life, does she question now for both of you? Does she have to need him or have to want him?
That's a good question.
Mr. P?
Now,
That's their question.
I'm going to answer.
Okay.
She don't have to do anything, but she does need him just as much as he needs her.
Okay.
That's my only gripe and frustration with Black women, and it's more modern or recently, is the notion, and she followed into the notion that she does not need the Black man. Any woman who believes that she does not need a man is going to operate like she does not need a man. I'm never going to say I don't need a man. I'm never going to say I don't need my wife. Because it's a mindset.
Yeah.
Because if I operate like I don't need her, then I don't need her.
Right.
If you say you don't need me, you want to operate like you don't need me. You see what I'm saying? That is all my regret with her. I need a Black woman. I need you. I'm never gonna say that. I'm never gonna say I can do this. I can do this by myself, or I want to do this by myself. I need a Black woman, and I want her to need me.
Okay.
She need me. I need her.
Okay.
I feel like at some point, and this is more, I would say, in 40 years, in the last 40, 50 years at the most. And it's not all on the Black women. It's a part of the feeling. Part of the feelings is us as the Black man. We were not able to navigate the challenges and the systems that we had to navigate. We fell into the traps of the drug era. We fell into the system of the prison industrial complex. We fell into that trap. We started believing that we were above it and that we could be equal and like them and operate like them, and we got trapped up in there. Before, after slavery, Reconstruction, all that period, we were our own things. Black Wall Street, the original Black Wall Street, we had our own community. We had our own doctors. We had our own systems of operating. We tried to become them and integrate into them, thinking that, hey, we could be equal to them in this country. And we started believing in Kool-Aid. We started talking about Kool-Aid. And we got trapped in there. We were able to overcome it. It's like, I know what I need to do. I need to separate the Black man from the Black woman.
And that's what it is.
And we allow. I'm going to take the ownership of the black men. We allow the black because we started getting more into how we felt. We started getting more into wanting to be like the white man. We felt like we wanted to be like him. We wanted to operate the way he did instead of operating our own community. When he came in and saw what we do, they destroyed it.
Right.
Instead of us rebuilding, we like, hey, maybe we shouldn't rebuild. Maybe we shouldn't integrate.
But it was slavery did that first before black.
I think we were better. After slavery, we were good. When you had black,
you can say that after slavery, the nucleus of the black family were back together.
It was together.
Yeah, they had started, but do you still think that dynamic of preparation was still there?
I don't think it was there.
That we were progressing.
I don't think it was
I
there.
think that issue was still dealt with.
No, I think it was there. I think up until I would say this is just my opinion. I think the trappings of white women, that feminist movement sucked in the black woman. Because they weren't doing nothing without the black woman.
Yeah.
They brought in the black women into that white feminist movement. Because the black woman was in the household listening to the other white conversations. They brought the black women into their helpers, the workers and stuff. They brought them into the white feminist movement and got them involved in that and started saying, hey, we need your help. You don't really need that, man. We're going to take care of you. We're going to do blah, blah, blah. So when we get our rights, we're going to make sure that you get your rights. Yes. And the black woman fell for that. But at the same time, the black women, we were not wise enough.
That the black boy was getting food stamps they couldn't have.
Yes. That was the caveat. You cannot have a black man in the house. You could not.
It's why
so that's the only thing. You don't need him. At the same time, you know, don't cancel me, but y'all right. The white woman was setting y'all up. They were setting us all up.
So let us go back because we hear a lot of people, and I hear that black women say, "I don't need a man. I don't want a man.
You
Or
need a man."
Is it the other way? Is it that they need one or
You
they
need one.
Need one, want one. I mean, first of all,
they want a man, but they don't need one.
No, you need a man.
I mean,
I feel they need.
if somebody says to you on a regular basis, I don't want you or need you,
Mm-hmm.
or I don't need you or want you, you're never going to go around because first of all, we all want to be wanted.
Mm-hmm.
We all want to be. We all want to feel. We all want to feel that we serve a purpose in this person's life.
Mm-hmm.
If you hear on a regular basis, I don't want a man, or I don't need a man, and that same woman has a little boy,
Mm-hmm.
that's what he's going to think as he's growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, women don't want me. Women don't need me. My mom don't want me. Don't need me. So, and no other women don't need me.
Mm-hmm.
We all need others. We all want each other. At our base, we're still humans, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we need men need women to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Women need men to survive.
Mm-hmm.
We want each other because it is in our biology
Right.
to want, the opposite sex.
Mm-hmm.
Biologically, I mean, you cannot fight our biology and our psyche and what we got between our legs. You have to. We need each other and we want each other.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of it is a lot of ego or protection.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you. I can do it all by myself. I don't need you. I can do it all by myself. And honestly, that's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Black men need black women. Black women need black men.
Mm-hmm.
The only way we can survive this white supremacist country is by needing and wanting each other and being around each other. Because otherwise, it will be the divide and conquer. Divide and conquer will have be successful.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If we don't need nor want each other.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that women are lying to themselves when they say they don't need a man. We all need someone. And do you want one is the question. You need one, but do you want it? You know what I'm saying? So, because there's a difference between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a difference between
But, so don't go out here saying that you want a man, or are you looking for him and they haven't come? No, guess what? You have spoken out into the atmosphere. I don't need one.
Right.
Because you're lying. You're lying to yourself.
Oh yeah, big time.
You're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
This is how we fit. We fit like this.
Absolutely.
What do you think
We're connected.
the black girl magic comes from the black man, and the black man swag comes from the black woman?
That's right.
Without the black woman, there's no need for the black man.
That's right.
We don't need no swag to get the other ones. We don't need no swag
Bare minimum.
to get the other ones.
Bare minimum.
You don't.
And they chew it up.
You see what I'm saying? You don't need the swag. That swag, that black man swag is for the black woman specifically. We did that. We developed that for the black woman because we know that's what moves the black woman.
Definitely.
That's what moves the black woman. Without the black woman, we wouldn't be doing that.
That's number one. Let's stop doing this in line. I don't care how, if you make 6 figures, 7 figures, black woman, stop lying to yourself. You need a man.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to going home. We're sociable creatures. We're going home to an empty house. So you want to talk. That's why you talk to your girlfriend 2 or 3 or 4 freaking hours a day. That all that time you're spending with your girlfriend need to be spent on your husband. Get you a man. Get you somebody that you can be able to communicate with. I know we try to go on no girls trips. I don't want to go no island outside with no girl.
I promise you. I promise you. You're not. You cannot have. I promise you. The much fun I have with the fellas or whatever, I have more time, the more fun with my wife. And you vice versa. You can't tell me your girl's trip is more fun than a trip with me. It's not.
It ain't gonna
You see what I'm saying? It's not. You find somebody you can kill, like you said, your man, you want to be around, the energy. Yeah, we do need that male body, you need that female body, you need that energy right there, bro. But when that male and female energy together, you can't beat that. You can't beat
your
it.
best friend.
It really is.
Right, you can't beat it.
That's your best friend, and you on the phone, so you need a man, sweetie.
I mean, in that love that a man and woman share, can literally move mountains. I mean, you know what I mean? I look at my wife all the time, and like we talk about different things and how we can upgrade and move. She gives me so many great ideas, right? Or I'm the artist of the two of us, and she's more so the behind the scenes. But she talks all the time about like, hey, both of us can't be in the limelight. I might be the face, but she is everything else, right? I might be the paper, and she's a pen. You know what I mean? Like I'm the artist, but she's giving me the ideas of what to create.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
you compliment one another.
Compliment each other, and that's the whole thing. Because we both, men and women, have strengths and weaknesses that can complement each other. And when you find somebody that can complement you, you can work off of that.
Right.
You can find somebody that can boost you or upgrade you. I mean, Beyonce got a whole song about it. Let me upgrade you. You know what I mean? Like, let me turn this clay mold into a beautiful statue.
Right.
You know what I mean? And vice versa. I mean, A$AP Rocky and Rihanna. He's in the background and she's doing her thing right now. But they boost each other into
Exactly.
They build each other up.
And she makes more money than him. So
Right.
that's one of the things. Some things you just have to take some things off the list. He's still a millionaire. He's not a billionaire, but he can provide for himself. He ain't trying to live off of Rihanna.
He don't need to provide for
But
himself.
I'm just saying for women who are not at the Rihanna level,
Even if
but
it's
you're
not
making 6 figures and a brother ain't coming out and making $1,000 or so, y'all can still make some things happen.
Yeah, they need to change that mentality. Because
That's what I'm
again,
saying.
right, you're not struggling. You see what I'm saying? Neither one of y'all is struggling. You're not. Rihanna's not struggling. Why would she need a billionaire? That's what I'm saying. That's a perfect example. I make 6 figures. I need me at least 6 figures.
Why?
Rihanna makes $1 billion.
Then nobody gonna be
She
home.
makes $1 billion. Does she need $1 billion?
Everybody gonna be gone.
All the time.
All the time. That's why we see so many divorces among celebrities, and because they're all on the same level. Yeah, you can, when we say get someone on your level, they don't always have to be the financial. It can be still in the picture, but they don't have to be making the same.
It doesn't have to be the same, but that's where you have to switch your thinking. It is not. You got to switch your thinking because again, we talk about you're tired. I get it. You're tired, but you need to switch your thinking.
Look at her list.
You gotta switch your thinking because again, here's your option. You can be financially set. You can do all this. You don't technically need anybody to pay your bills. You don't need that. That's not a need for you. If you never got married for the next 25 years, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna have your savings. You're gonna be fine. That is not something that shouldn't be something that's on your list.
Right.
Because what it does is it disqualifies 99.9% of the people on the planet.
For real.
It disqualifies those.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't even be on your list because that's not something really you need.
Right.
That's again when you talk about that's an ego thing. You're an ego thing because your girlfriend or whoever society told you that I ain't taking care of no man. You should never take care of no man. You should do all that.
Listen
But
to
again,
your girlfriend.
if you that's like look, I got a mansion. I got a 20,000 square foot mansion.
Mm-hmm.
No, he can't move in here. I got a 20,000 square foot mansion because I'm not taking care of no man. I got a 20,000 square foot mansion. I use 1,000, 1,500 square feet. He can't move here. Oh no, what did that look like? That look like I'm taking care of him. He got to have his own mansion.
That's crazy.
It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense.
It don't make sense at all.
Again, you should be looking. That should not even be on your list because that is not something that you need.
Exactly.
You need somebody who's supportive. You need somebody who you can vent to. You need all these other things.
You need your best friend.
These other characteristics. You know what I mean? So it's weird to me that people, and again, that's that social media. That's that outside world that is intervening to you. They told you in your mind that if he's not making what you make, then you're taking care of him.
And Terrence said it good, and I like how you broke it down that when you come home, you can be your authentic self.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you want in your
Absolutely.
to be your authentic self.
Absolutely.
You know that there's no masks, there's no makeup, there's no wigs. You are yourself. Your husband sees you, and you see your wife.
Yeah, and you find somebody that's rare. You find somebody that's exactly how you
are. Because people with money, they still got flaws. They got insecurity. They got some issues that you will never know about until you in. And then when you get in, and be like, "What did I get into here?" You know, I should have stayed over here with Bernard. Because at least Bernard paid me attention. At least Bernard told me I was beautiful. But you get with the 6 figure, he ain't got time. That money beautiful.
you traded you traded one thing for another. I give you your time. You don't want to be the leader. You don't want to be that. You basically traded one thing for another.
What are we doing? We tired. What are we doing to get untired? What are we doing to make sure that we're in position? We've already prepared for him. I'm quite sure we prepared for the husband. So how do we make sure that we don't miss the husband?
They're not prepared for the husband, Dr. D.
Y'all think they prepared?
No.
Like, they are.
I mean, a lot are. A lot are
not.
not. And I say that because I feel like, again, kind of going back to what I said earlier, a lot of people have expectations of what they think a husband or significant other should be in the first place, opposed to realizing that a husband comes in many different forms, and a husband is going to be a husband or significant other is going to be somebody that's going to compliment you and add those pieces, add pieces to your life. So in the medical package, I think it's going to come in, but it's going to give you exactly what you need. Like for example, my wife, she works from home. But she doesn't. She wants to be around me, but she doesn't want to be around me all the time.
Mhm.
So she's glad that I have an outside space to go to,
Mhm.
right? A bar job to go for 8-9 hours a day, then come home, love on her, and then leave her alone, right?
Mhm.
Like, she'll be left alone after she's got what she needs. But again, it's one of the things where like you don't want somebody that's gonna be up on you all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
I want attention. You want attention, but you don't want it all the
Right,
time.
right, yeah, right.
You're a man that's not working. Okay? That's all the time.
Uh-huh.
Then he ain't working, so he ain't making no money into the place.
Mhm.
So there's a balance that is maintained in there as well. And I think a lot of us, in general, think we want things a certain way
Yeah.
until we actually get it the way we need it to get.
Mhm.
Right.
You know, because God answers prayers, and He's gonna answer prayers. That
Right.
He's gonna answer prayers how He wants you to have it, not
Mhm.
how you think you should have it.
Mhm.
Lord, please provide me a good man. All right, it's gonna be a good man. Guess what? A good man comes with some things. A
Mhm.
good man comes with going out and working. A good man means that he has his priorities straight. A good man is going to give time to his family. A
Mhm.
good man is going to have time for his friends. A good man is going to be honest with you. A good
Mhm.
man is not going to lie to you. A good man is going to tell you the truth even when you don't want to hear it. And a good man is it's not always going to make you happy.
Right.
Because a good person is not going to always make you happy.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, definitely. Definitely.
Mhm.
Somebody that's really significant others is going to tell you the truth when you need to hear it,
Mhm.
even if it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of again, younger generations, people my age and younger, when they get into those uncomfortable spaces,
Mhm.
all of a sudden they want to write them off.
Yeah.
Oh, F that man because he wasn't trying to let me live my life. No, he told you the good about yourself, and you didn't like it. You didn't like how it came out. So you want to write him off.
Right.
They
Yeah.
gonna call him ain't no good ass
Uh-huh,
nigga because he ain't
uh-huh.
saying what he would say.
Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah.
not how a good person works. That's not how a good man works or a good woman works.
Mhm.
Exactly. Exactly.
And so I think a lot of that it goes just we have expectations of what we think it should be
Uh-huh.
until we receive it how we need to receive it, but we don't get to.
Mhm.
Right.
I mean, I know I've been with a chick at one time, or a young lady at the time where I thought I wanted what she had offered, but I wasn't ready for it. I was still young.
Mhm.
And she was ready for, she was ready to be a good significant other or a good girlfriend. I wasn't ready for that. I was in college, I was ready to kind of wild out.
Mhm.
And I didn't realize that until I was like, oh, dang,
Mhm.
I kind of messed over her because she was ready for something serious, and I wasn't.
Yeah.
Opposed, and I'm sure there's plenty of men and women, of all ages, that think they want something a certain way, but when they get it,
There you go.
they
Right.
like, I don't want this because it's not how I wanted it to look. Opposed to sitting with those uncomfortable sides of the positive.
Right.
If that makes some sense.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I understand what you're saying.
It can be hard though, especially in this instant gratification world. Everything's supposed to be fast,
Mhm.
Right. Right.
but it takes good relationships take time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the mom is tired. She's ready to rest. She's ready to take this superhero-esque off of her chest and for that man to come in. And for us, we just discussed that her list needs to change. Her mindset needs to be changed so that she can rest, so that she can find that love, find a place of solitude
Yeah.
within her Black man.
Yeah.
And it will be. It will be. It just takes some time for her to change some things around. And I tell people, change your aura. What are you putting out?
Yeah, the power is within the individual.
Mhm.
It's not outside. There's no outside. There's no be a person who's gonna come here that's gonna change you for the inside. It's got to be an individual thing. It's got to be an internal thing that you work on and that you do that, and then you will start to attract those type of people.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? But if you're getting off this boss B energy and this all this the whole time, you're not gonna come in. You're not gonna attract somebody who's coming in to try to take some of these roles because you the boss B. I'm gonna do you. I'm gonna hang out here for a little while, like you said, get what I can get from you, and then when it's over, it's over. Versus you changing up the way that you operate, you changing internally, the way you approach things, the way you thought, and then you will start to attract those different
And
types of
stop telling these men that you got this. Stop telling these men that you pay your own bills. Men love to be needed.
Oh,
yeah.
And if they feel that they cannot be needed or wanted by you, they going somewhere else.
Stop posting
They're not going to stay around.
on Facebook and Instagram. They don't mean nothing. You posted everything on Facebook and Instagram. And I'm not pretending like I ain't see what you just said. Boss B, I don't need it. What's that song that you singing? Boss bitch don't need it. Yeah, I'm like, that's energy you. Somebody gonna help you.
They can only give you sex, and then they may think it ain't gonna be sex because you got toes. Remember, you can do it on your own.
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying.
I'm just speaking.
Again. Single women, single men, y'all are the problem.
No.
Y'all are the problem. Okay. We did our job. Yeah, y'all the problem. Y'all the problem. America ain't the problem. We did our job.
we did our job.
I found me a good one. He found him a good one. And we locked them down. Y'all are the problem. Yeah, we did our job.
Whatever, man.
I'm just
Like I
saying.
said, I never put that aura out that I'm this independent, that I don't need a man. I never put that out.
Okay.
I think we discussed in part one that, and I tell, black women, don't tell black men everything that you have going on. I'm sorry, we have to dim our light a little bit. I know it sounds bad. I know it. But don't intimidate them, because some men are intimidated by your degrees, by your position, by what you have. Don't let him know all that information. Don't let him know all of that information, because you do have some men who just cannot handle that. Because, and I'm not saying those strong men are able, good men will be able, like, oh girl, come on here, I still got you. I can still make you happy. I can't make them 6 figures, but I go in there and cook some pancakes, girl, with some blueberry syrup.
So let me ask you a question. So do I have to convince you that I can make you happy, or do I have to demonstrate? Do I got to tell you that, or I got to demonstrate?
This is actions. Just show me.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Because words sometimes don't line up to your actions.
I think a lot of women.
Actions over all your words.
I think let me see. Other than my grandmother, I've never been intimidated by a woman.
Some men are.
I mean, I don't know about that, because
some men are.
My grandmother.
If you have more than that man,
And I had a powerful woman in my family.
He feels that what can he do for you? Some men feel that. What can I do for her?
you can see
She
those
goes
people are
to
not-
this party.
they're not dating in their lane in the first
people.
place.
Huh?
Those people are not dating in their lane in the first place. They're
Oh, dating in their lane.
yeah, you
Talk about dating in your lane. Go ahead.
gotta really date in your lane. Like, you gotta know where you sit in the echelon of whether you want to call it
So
career.
you're saying that even if the person has X amount of degrees or 6 figures, that he can't handle that?
But see, that's the thing. It don't let them do with degrees, where they are in their career. If a person, for example, some people are more focused on their accomplishments. I got 3 degrees. I got this. I got that. Right? Then there's a guy that may like that woman, but he don't care nothing about, the degrees and the accomplishments. They're not in the same lane. They're not on the same wavelength. She's focused on accomplishments. He's focused on, maybe something totally different. That's what that may be. Well, you gotta find people that fit into your lane or on the same wavelength as you. My wife didn't care about how much money I made. She didn't care about the accomplishments I had. She wanted to know if I was a good person, if my morals lined up with hers, if my opinions, for the most part, lined up with her. When you start looking outside of your realm, outside of your lane, you're telling yourself, oh, yeah, I don't want this girl that got 3 degrees. She wants the same out of me. I'm good on that because that's not who I'm. I'm in this position on that. How many that I got going for me? How do you feel about me as a person?
And that's why she doesn't need to tell you, because she may be into you and don't want to scare you off. He just made the comment. He just made the comment that he's gonna be.
If she focused on that,
no, all women focus on that.
I didn't say all
women
women.
want that man to call a man, but I may say to myself, because he's thinking that he ain't gonna know my mouth. So
But here's the thing.
I'm making just as much money. And
That's the difference between men and women and how we think.
no,
No, this is how.
Not quite.
Right. There's a difference between men and women. Men don't think on that level, especially when it comes to that, because men know the way that we're raised is that you only get what you grind for. You only get what you provide for. You don't count on nothing else other than what you do for yourself. Women think that, you know, their accomplishments and their all the things is what men are looking at. Men are not looking at that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many ways we gotta say it. It's great that you got it. I would much prefer the educated woman than the uneducated woman. But when I'm looking at the trajectory of my life and my future, I'm not looking at, hey, maybe if I come across a wife who's a doctor, then she can do this and do this. No. I made the trajectory for my life, and you fit in it. Not what you have. Men don't look at it like that. We don't look at it. We're looking at our future. We're looking at who you fit in our future.
He just made this.
He said, if you're leading with that, he said, if you're leading.
That's why she shouldn't lead with nothing. That's why she has to dim that, turn it down.
Don't dim it.
Or don't dim it. Just find guys that have 2 degrees already.
If that's important.
That's making 6 figures and stay in that lane.
But what if she doesn't want somebody making 6 figures?
Oh, she do.
Wants the blue collar. Not every woman wants that.
She don't want no blue collar.
No.
What have you ever met a woman who said, I want a blue collar? That's y'all don't. Y'all don't.
Right.
Because blue collar men make 6 figures. There's some blue collar men who make 6 figures. But see, y'all don't think like that. Y'all, because again, that's where the whole argument comes that women before, and I get it. I understand why women are saying that, because a lot of men led with their accomplishments, they led with their finances and things, and so y'all think that because men led with that, that's what you should do to those type of men. But no, that's not what men are looking for. Men led with that because they knew that women wanted stability, they wanted in certain aspects, they wanted status, and so women want. Some women gravitate that, so they status. They like, oh, I can say I'm missing such and such or missing such and such. So they led with that. But a lot of men understand that does not sustain.
And moreover, it's like, you know, back to the original topic or the question, guys are not intimidated by, guys are usually not intimidated by women's accomplishments. Because a lot of guys don't care about accomplishments, especially when the men are conditioned out of the household in the first place. Okay, I don't care how much you make. I don't care how many degrees you got. I still gotta be provided for the household, right? I still gotta protect this household, right? So, great, you can add all those things to our life, but I'm not gonna be scared off by it either. Because when you try to throw it in my face, when that becomes a problem, oh, I got 2 degrees, you don't got none. Okay, see, now because now you say you're above,
right?
Yeah. We have more, to show for me.
Yeah.
We don't care about that, because men have to stand on our own 2 feet. And we have to make for ourselves, and we have to provide for ourselves. Because rather than somebody helping us, we still got to pay rent. We still got to pay the bills. In some cases, women that move in with men, we don't got to pay the bills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I like to be. I'm proud to say that I can take care of me and my wife. She doesn't pay. I pay all our bills myself. And I'm okay with that. And I'm working on her face. I was expecting to do that anyways. Opposed to the other way around, it'll be all kinds of foolishness going on. If any of her grown ass friends heard that her 33-year-old husband was basically being taken care of by her 46-year-old. No,
they would do. They'd be like, "Girl, it couldn't be me. Couldn't be me." Right.
No, again, we don't. A lot of guys don't care. Solid men, most men, the men that I know, don't really care about accomplishments of women. We aren't really intimidated by it because our securities or insecurities are not tied up into the accomplishments that we have or do not have. It goes a lot deeper than that. However, there are some that are intimidated because they are insecure who they are as a person. They don't really have much value for them. They really feel less than. They are conditioned by the Western world. They think that they should have more than they have. And when a woman comes around and reminds them of what they don't have, they kind of shy away from it. Those good guys, a lot of guys that women may want, but you get intimidated by them. Like all this, yeah, you probably is, but it's still like it's so cool, other than a pretty face. And there's a lot of guys they are mediocre by whoever standards. They have a lot going for them. They don't look at it in the same manner. And it's a balance that kind of maintains, like, from where they are, the expectations that are one of a man are balanced with what a man should or should not have, and those expectations are not met. They can be intimidating. Some of them can be intimidated. So,
to put it in the simplest aspect, solid dude or a dude who is sure of himself is not starstruck. It's the same thing, starstruck. I don't care who's sitting right here. I'm not starstruck. I'm not a groupie. Oprah sitting down. How you doing, Oprah? This is the regular garbage lady at McDonald's. How you doing, McDonald's lady? You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna be in this space. I'm gonna be, because I know who I am as a person. I don't care who's sitting beside me or who I have to conversate with. I'm gonna, because I'm so sure in who I am, and the men who are sure who they are. It doesn't matter who you are and what status you are. You are a human being. You eat, shit, and sleep just like I do. You just get somebody. More people know you than they know me. I'm saying.
I still got some insecure men. That's all.
I guess I'm not saying you don't. I'm not saying you don't. But you don't want them though.
Yeah.
Those are who you want. You don't want them. So you saying don't be insecure. I'm like, I don't care who you is. Like right here.
Right. But you got insecurity. So that's all I'm saying, ladies. But
that don't have anything to do with you though. You don't control that man's insecurity. Because who you are as an individual, they still gonna be insecure. They're gonna be insecure whether you make 6 figures or whether you make 2 figures. So their insecurity does not have is not based on you.
So ladies, based upon the male's perception of what they just stated, go ahead and tell the men everything you got and see.
Tell them
everything you got. I ain't telling you.
But you don't want him. If he's insecure about what your accomplishments. Do you really want it?
Right.
Is that the one for you?
Yeah. Right.
Well, you got the trash man. You going to that spit game with you. Oh, for real? You might say, okay, cool. You want to go to dinner? I got this gift card to Chili's. What you going to say? It's the same thing. So, that's all I'm saying.
Confidence has nothing to do with accomplishments.
It don't.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Well,
to bring this
just bring it to a close because I got to get home.
Okay. Full circle.
I'm mommy.
Like women is tired. He agreed. I agree. I took it from a standpoint. Like I did not disagree with that. I took it from a standpoint of I took the accountability route. If you want different outcomes, you got to make different decisions. Okay,
yeah, definitely.
I still stand on that. I'm not saying you're not tired. I agree, y'all tired. I wish you weren't tired.
I wish you were.
Find you somebody to alleviate some of that burden.
They still not gonna sit down nowhere.
They're not. They're not
but
then, that's what I'm saying. Be honest with yourself. You say you want to sit down, but can you really sit down? I don't think you got to be. You can sit down, but you ain't gonna sit down.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You gonna sit down, but you ain't gonna sit down. You ain't gonna sit down somewhere. Right. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta be sure that you see what I'm
But
saying?
I will be able to sit down without having all of that pressure on my back, knowing that I have a helpmate, and we're there for one another, and we're partners in this.
And I truly want that for everybody. It is the best thing in the world, and I promise you.
And that's what I think it really boils down to, man. You know, like, you know, knowing that somebody's gonna be in your corner. Because we're all tired, you know what I mean? But when you know you have somebody in your corner that's gonna help you along the way, you don't gotta do it all by yourself. That can make all the difference in the world. When you don't feel like you're alone in the world, I mean, you know, so many of us just feel alone. We don't have us. When you get somebody that can, you know, they're gonna have your back through hell and high water, that can make all the difference.
Yes.
I think that's what we
You
all
don't want to run your husband in the ground, and he did.
No, you
Then
don't.
you didn't get married for him to be coming home stressed out and tired. No, you got married because you want to enjoy one another. You want to be there for him, and you know, and take some of that pressure off of him. That he doesn't have the grind of the world on him, 24/7.
Yeah, we don't choose the families that we are born into, but we do choose the people that we are married.
I like that.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Terrence Ali.
Thank you.
We appreciate
Thank
you
y'all
for
so much for
having you come back, have your wife.
Yeah, next time I'm gonna drag her here.
Drag her here. Because y'all got a great story that y'all need to share, and people have figured out that all it takes is 2 people to navigate this world. And people will make a decision. Y'all make a decision. It's a choice. Every day you get up, you make a choice to be with your wife, and she makes a choice to be with you. So thank you again. I appreciate you coming.
Thank y'all for having me on so much.
Thank you.
Exactly.
All right.
I wouldn't be doing this with anybody else. I'm glad.
Nobody but you. Hey, everybody, make sure that you click like, subscribe, and share. Please like, subscribe, and share. And give us your comments and your feedback on our podcast. Again, Mr. P will be making a podcast building upon Straight Talk with Dr. P and Mr. P. He's not leaving Straight Talk with Dr. P and Mr. P, because if he leaves, he ain't gonna be living on. But so his is going to be called Nightcap with Mr. P. All right. So be on the lookout for that. All right. Again, thank you all for watching and listening and supporting us. God bless you.
Bless you. Any last words?
No last words. God bless.
Love you guys.